Okay, we are live, I think. I'm Nick Atkin. I'm with John Hyon Co. South China Morning Post, SCMP MMA, the second episode of SCMP times one live. We got three guests for you today. All big winners from one championship inside the Matrix. Tony Caruso, Tan Lee, and Reinier de Ridder. Tan Lee and Reinier, obviously new champions, featherweight and middleweight. They dethroned Martin Nguyen and Aung Sang in what some people would say were huge upsets. I'm sure they didn't see it that way. But John, we got a little bit of time just before Tony Caruso. Oh, sorry, Tan Lee's our first guest. He's up at 11 a.m. Hong Kong time, so we've got 9 minutes. Just what a crazy night Friday was, huh? We did the Fight Companion live together and all that. It's been a whirlwind, hasn't it? The whole weekend.
Yeah, for the people that are watching, SCMP, the team, the crew out here, they really appreciate you guys coming on and tagging along and enjoying that Inside the Matrix card. That was just insane. You know what I mean? Like you just mentioned earlier, those are upsets. Those are not, expected results for most people, especially in Asia. You know what I mean? One championship, when you have Asian champions, you most of the time you expect the Asian champions to continue their reign, but they had other plans, and Tan Lee came in there and pretty much, halted the train, the hype train that Martin has created over the years. And it's gonna be interesting to see how Martin reacts and comes back from this. But I feel like, every champion has their losses and it's all part of their journey and the comeback story. But Tan Lee, man, that guy, he can crack, and he cracked Martin. We never seen Martin get finished like that ever. I don't think we've ever seen him rocked in a fight. Do you ever remember him being rocked?
Maybe Bibiano wobbled him, did he, in the fifth round? That's why he thinks the judges gave it to Bibiano
Yeah,
in
but
that
not
decision
like
fight.
that though,
Not like
right?
that, no. No,
Not like
not
that.
finished like that. Obviously, he got submitted by Gafarov, but
Yeah.
yeah, I was stunned, and it was funny because I thought Martin had Tan in trouble. I think we all did, but Tan Lee said it the best. He said, "When you put that pressure on, that's when you come into the zone where I can hit you."
Mhm.
And he hit Martin hard, and it was going really well for Martin. I thought
Well,
he
yeah.
was completely dominating that fight. If they did score in rounds in one, I know they don't. I would have had him up both rounds, and he was winning the third round easily. I looked like he was about to finish Tan Lee.
He was putting the pressure on Tan Lee, and one thing about Tan Lee is that he can strike from anywhere, so I didn't really feel like Martin was dominating, completely, but he was showing his dominance inside, the cage control, the cage, what do you call it? Yeah, cage control, like he was having that. He was showing that in that fight. And
Mm.
a lot of people say that Martin got careless, but I feel like once they started exchanging, like these guys, they're not the type of guys to back down, and they were just going straight forward and attacking. And Martin probably saw something, in at that last exchange where he felt like he needed to go in and go for the kill. And that's what he did. And that's what Martin does. Martin is a killer. He has killer instinct. And this time it just didn't work out in his favor. But man, Tan Lee, what can you say, man? That guy, he's a smooth operator. He's cool, calm, and collected, and he took that pressure and he just reversed it onto Martin. And that counter, I feel like it was the counter right hook. Was it the
Yeah, it
right hook
was
or the left
counter
hook?
right on the
Yeah,
button.
right on the button, man. And that was the beginning of the end in that fight. And did you see the video that Tan Lee put up of him practicing that punch on the
I
pads?
didn't actually.
Yeah,
Is it on? Where is it in
I
his
think it's
social
on
media?
Facebook. Yeah, I believe it's on
Okay,
Facebook. But when we talk
maybe
to him,
I'm.
we're gonna have to bring that up and have him explain all of that. And that's what's great about this show, man. We get to bring up things live and have the fighters explain exactly what was going through their minds. And it's gonna be fun to be able to speak with Reinier and Tan and Antonio too, man. Antonio picked up a major win. Um, he dominated most of that fight, man, and he even was doing really well on the feet. I don't think people expected that. He dropped Edward, I feel, in the first or second round. He dropped him with a clean shot, and man, after that it was just smooth sailing for him. But one thing you got to give it to Edward, man. He doesn't give up, and he was coming back in that third round. If that was a 5-round fight, there's a big if right there. You never know what would have happened, but it's not a 5-round fight. And Antonio went in there with a great game plan and executed it really well.
Yeah, well, if you're just joining us, we're waiting for our first guest, Tan Lee. He'll be here hopefully in about 5 minutes.
Yeah.
Just dealing with the PR Temi right now. It's all the same link. I shall tell her. We got to invite them into the StreamYard, obviously.
Yeah. Yeah, it's just man, it's just it there's so much to talk about too, talk about the fight, the lead up to the fight, what's in the future for these guys, because I feel like 2021 is going to be a major year for a lot of these divisions, and everybody's talking about the atom weight division, but really, that lightweight division, it's going to be big. The featherweight division, it seems like they're signing a lot of prospects and a lot of guys that have potential to rise up the ranks quick in the featherweight division. And you got Gary Tonin sitting there, possibly one fight away from a title shot, and I feel like he's the boogeyman. He has that one skill that we have not seen anybody be able to defend against, which is his submission skills, man. It's just out of this world. And when he faces a world-class striker like Tan Lee or even Martin, and will he be able to weather the storm, and will he be able to even take these guys to the ground? That's something that I'm very interested in seeing. So we're gonna get Tan Lee's thoughts, man, about who he would like to fight next, or what the matchups look like for him. What he feels about the upcoming fight that could be a possible title eliminator between Gary Tonin and Masushima, and then maybe who are the other up and coming title challengers or contenders that he sees in the division. I want to ask him all of that. It's going to be fun.
I can't wait. Just doing a little bit of set dressing behind me. So thanks for manning the comms there, John. Putting all my knickknacks behind me.
Knick-knack, paddywhack.
Yeah, we should be good to go hopefully in a couple of minutes with Tan Lee. Anyone tuning in, please get your questions and comments in. We're all about the interaction here.
This is like one of the only ways you could ever ask the fighters a question, directly, so you should probably get them in while you have them.
All right,
right there.
Here we go. We got the new One Championship featherweight champion, Tan Lee. Sure. How's it going, Tan? I think he's getting dressed. I was doing the same earlier. How's it going, man? Yeah, it's must have been a crazy few days for you. Friday night, huge knockout, Martin Nguyen. What's the last few days been like for you?
It's breaking up.
Can you hear us? How's that sound?
I can't quite hear you guys. Y'all are breaking up. Let me see. Maybe my Wi-Fi is going slow.
We can hear you loud and clear here. I don't know if it's on our end. Any better now? Maybe, do you want to try leaving and coming back in? That might help. I'm not sure. John, have you got any suggestions?
No, I can hear him fine.
Yeah, I can hear your voice just fine. If there's another person talking, I can't hear them at all.
Oh, you can't hear? You could hear my voice?
Your voice is fine, clear.
Okay, you can't hear me.
Nick, it's your voice. He can't hear you.
Maybe I'll leave.
I barely made a word.
As in the volume is too low, or
is the volume too low,
or just breaking up?
Both of you guys I can hear your voice just fine, and I can hear him attempting to talk. It's just no words are coming out. It's real choppy.
Okay.
I can't even see his picture.
Also, okay, you can't see anything from him.
No, I can see you.
I'm going to try leaving the studio. I'll come back in. John, you hold the fort, okay?
No doubt. Oh, well, Tan, he's gonna leave. He's gonna come back. Let's just get started, man, with the fight, man. The final exchange, just nuts, man. Like insane. It's everything I expected out of the fight. To be honest with you, I felt like this fight was the fight of the night. This fight was gonna be the closest, closely tested fight between you guys. You guys are so skilled, so well versed in striking, and even in the wrestling and everything too. Take us through that last moment, of Martin like marching forward and you kind of, swaying back and forth and making your moves and getting that finish.
Well, my fights kind of play out very similarly. Obviously, Martin did it in a more effective fashion than a lot of guys before, right? He's champ for a reason. The dude's a great fighter. He comes from a great camp. They had a good game plan. I didn't expect anything less, to be honest with you. But he did a great job leading up to that point of being patient and calm and not opening up and giving me any clean shots. But you can spend, just like the first 2 rounds, time just kind of trying to beat my timing and my distance, which wasn't working super well for him. So he's like, you know what, F this, I'm gonna make it happen. And that's when guys open up and get hit by me pretty clean. But before that, 3, 4, 5 shots that I had to roll and dip, and he was obviously touched, a lot. Hit my shoulders a bunch. Shots that hit my hands that if they would have hit me would have been a problem. So I'm not taking anything away from him and the way he operated. He just decided to pull the trigger at that moment rather than in the 4th or 5th round. And honestly, that's when I expected it to come a little later. But Martin's a chance to happen in the 3rd, so he could at least win 3rd, 4th, and 5th rounds if it was to go to a decision. I know it's not judged round by round, but for the fight, right? But he really turned it on halfway through the entirety of the fight, and that's what opened up the inside shots. I had to do a lot more as far as moving left to right. He was getting a little closer because he was pushing the envelope. And then, yes, that last exchange was a little nuts. It wasn't as controlled and collected as I wanted it to be. That's something that we're going to take back and improve on immediately. I've already been jumping around my hotel room during this quarantine, making sure that I have the right moves and the right motions to clean that up. But yeah, this part here, of course, as soon as I clipped him with that inside shot inside his big hook, that was the beginning of the end. And this little deer on ice movement wasn't too proud of that. But as soon as we popped up, my left foot was planted. He caught a really heavy left hand, and then he bumped up against the fence. And here came that right 45 uppercut that finished the fight for me.
Can you hear me now? Is that any better?
Yep, perfect.
Okay. Well, yeah, I wanted to say congratulations, man. Really, really amazing performance. Thanks for talking us through that. Yeah, you mentioned you're already working on what to improve. I gotta imagine you're expecting a rematch, and when do you think Martin might be ready for that?
Whenever he's ready, I'm ready. I mean, we're still at this hotel, so if we wanted to do it tomorrow, we'd be down, but he's got to take some time, and I'm sure they're going to go back. They're a smart camp. He's a smart fighter. They're going to figure out holes in his game that they want to improve on and try to perfect that game plan. Try to, capitalize and grow on what was working, and then obviously not make them the same mistakes. I want to do the same thing. That's what good fighters want to do, right? But there's 70-80% of my striking game you guys still haven't seen, even through 2.5 rounds. So there's a lot more that we have ready for him that my coaches and I have already been in my room figuring that out, group FaceTime calls with them, just making sure that we have the right game plan, and I'm working on that already. So yeah, I'm trying to get better. I'm not settling. He's trying to get better. He's not settling. Let's do this as soon as possible. It's probably not going to be till next year, I assume. Let these hands heal up. Let him get healthy and heal up. And yeah, let's do it in Vietnam and make it a show for the ages and make it the biggest show possible for the first one event in Vietnam. That would be a hell of a show.
How does that belt feel? How does that belt feel when you saw that video right there with that gold on your shoulder?
And
how does that feel?
It's funny because my coaches were like, "Were you okay after? Like, you weren't really talking to us. You weren't talking to anybody." Man, it was so many emotions running through me. My entire fight career has led me to this point. That's all I've been thinking about for the last 10 years of my life. Winning a world title for the biggest organization in the world. I mean, it doesn't get any better than that, right? But at the same time, in the heat of the moment, right after the knockout, I'm thinking, that fight didn't go exactly how I wanted it to go, right? We've got to make improvements immediately. What was the next thing we got to fix? What were the holes that he capitalized on? That cannot happen again. And if he sees me again, which he will, he won't see that same guy. I will demolish that guy that fought him by the time we fight again.
I think I asked you, Tan, before the fight, who would you welcome now? If I'm looking beyond Martin, you've got some other dangerous contenders in that division. I think we were talking about it, the boogeyman, Gary Tonin. He's up against Kiyomi Matsushima next, it looks like. But you train with a guy who's very similar, Ryan Hall. Would you like that fight?
Yeah, absolutely. I'm the boogeyman, by the way, of this division. But, he's a great fighter also. He's got a matchup coming up, I think, November 20th. Obviously, we'll have our eyes on that. Both of those guys are great fighters. That could play out a couple different ways. It's going to be exciting to watch. Yeah, that's obviously another matchup that's coming up that could be great in potential. And then the rematch with Martin, that's got huge potential. We're take it back, talk with the team, talk with one, and get the biggest challenge for us. I mean, I've said this in interviews before, and it stands true. Is I don't care what everybody thinks. I'm gonna go out there and I'm gonna find the biggest challenge for me next, right? Whether that's going up a weight class, whether that's rematch, whether it's fighting one of those guys. Whatever I think is the toughest, hardest thing for me. I don't care what the fighters think. I don't care what anybody else thinks. Whatever I think is the toughest challenge for me, because that's the only reason I do this. I don't care about hanging on to this belt. I don't care about what number everybody is. I want to fight the hardest challenge for me. I'm too old for this. Like I've won a world title. It's awesome. It feels great, but that's not what I'm here for. I'm here to make sure I grow as a martial artist as much as possible and be the best fighter I could possibly be. So I need to jump the toughest hurdles for me, right? And the toughest hurdle for me isn't the toughest hurdle for the next guy, isn't the next matchup for the next guy. It's got to be what's specific to me. So it's probably not the most entertaining or fan-friendly thing to say, but that's why I'm doing this sport. So that's what I'm going to do.
But that allows you to fight the best guys, though, which that's what everybody wants to see. You know what I mean? Nobody wants you to fight the number 15 or 17th guy. They want you to fight the number 4th guy or 5th guy or 2nd guy, right?
Right. I fought enough lower mid-level fighters on the way up. Like everybody's got to go through that. And obviously, as somebody who is a potential champion or somebody who thinks they're going to be at the top of the food chain, you think that you deserve to fight better fighters and in the best organization and this and that. And that's what we've gone through. And I'm done with that. I have nothing but this is where the guys that I'm fighting need to be. And they need to be that for me. And they need to be that in the martial arts world, they need to be the best fighters. And that, I say it again, that's why I do this.
The right hook. I saw you posted something on social media about you practicing that right hook, man. How often does that play out like that? Where you focus on certain combinations in camp and it works in a fight?
Every fight. I mean, I don't want to sound like everything plays out the way I want it to, because it doesn't. I didn't plan on that to happening, but it did, right? But that's why you work hard. That's why you do the boring days and the repetitive reps and the drilling and drilling and drilling until your arms fall off, is because when shit's going crazy and he's putting the pressure on and he's ready to take your head off, the right techniques come out at the right time. Everybody says all these quotes from all these fighters and Bruce Lee and all of this, but they're true. Like, I didn't throw that. It threw it itself, because you train martial arts the right way. You work hard and you work smart and you train this thing right here the right way, right? And then in the heat of battle, in the heat of the moment, when shit gets crazy, things come out the right way. And that's why you that's why you train.
Well, when shit gets crazy, I think that's what makes this fight memorable. Because when it did get crazy, you performed, and you came out the champion.
And what's cool is that's what Martin does, right? When shit gets crazy, he does really
Exactly.
well. And when shit gets crazy, I do really well. So it just happened to work out in my favor, and we plan on repeating that if we have to.
Did you, you were very patient, in the first couple of rounds. Were you, because the other fights, you went in there and just blasted through guys early on, in the fight. This one, you had to be patient. How did you control that? How did you control being patient? Did your coaches remind you in the corner to like, okay, it's coming, just wait, just wait?
For sure. But if you really pay attention to my other fights, they play out the same way. I beat you from the outside. I feel very comfortable. My coaches feel very comfortable that nobody on this planet can beat me from the outside. I beat you from the outside with my movement, with my shot selection, with my brain. And either you're going to let me just win this fight, whether it's by a huge gap or by a little gap. That's not my preferable way to win fights. Obviously, I haven't done it yet, but I plan on going full 5 rounds, full 3 rounds, whenever those fights, dictate. And I'll beat you on damage, on control, on range, on timing. And then when you say, I've had enough, you're not going to beat me like this, that's when you go to sleep. And it played out a little later in the rounds. Honestly, with Martin, I thought it was going to be 4 and 5, but it ended up being in the 3rd round.
Tan, do you feel a sense of vindication now? Because you've had some really impressive moments in your career already, but maybe people weren't giving you the credit you deserve going into this fight. But now you proved how good you really are.
I mean, for the record, I haven't proved how good I really am, because you guys haven't seen a fraction of what I am as a martial artist, which is awesome. I'm very happy for that, to have a little something in the back pocket. You know what I mean? But I've gone through ups for sure, big downs in this sport, and it's part of the game. I'm used to it. It's helped me be a man, a father, a husband in life. So, no matter how my martial arts career goes and how whoever's watching your martial arts career goes, that's what martial arts is for. It teaches you about life. It teaches you how to handle stress. It teaches you how to handle things and problems and problem solve and treat people the right way. Like it's so much more than just punching somebody in the face. But it's nice, obviously, to have this belt and to be world champ, obviously. But, I said in one of my posts that what I'm really happy about is the opportunity that it gives me. It gives me the opportunity to share this with people, to share martial arts with people, and to be able to pick the hardest challenges for myself. Like, you could use this position of quote unquote like power to take the easy fights and to get around tough guys, or you can go out there and pick the hardest decision. I might lose this belt my next fight because I'm gonna go after the toughest MFers in this sport as soon as possible. I don't care about hanging on to this for 30 fights or 20 fights or 2 fights. I'm going to fight the biggest, baddest dude next, and if it works out, it works out. If it doesn't, then I'll keep on keeping on.
It's a brilliant attitude. I love to see it. I can't wait for that next fight. What's the next step for you, though? Now, John may have asked you already. Sorry, while I was dipping out. But how long are you holed up in that hotel? When are you heading back to Louisiana? Oh, we've lost you. Can you hear me?
No, his volume
His
is out.
sound's gone. I think you're muted. I'll unmute you. You've lost your mic, Tan, if you can hear us.
He's muted.
Here you go.
Oh, there we go.
There we go. Sorry. Yeah. I don't know if you could hear me. I was just saying, what's next for you? When are you heading back to the States, to Louisiana? How long are you holed up in the hotel there in Singapore?
We leave tomorrow morning, so I've been up in this hotel for a minute. It was all worth it, of course. Thank you to the Singapore government for allowing to do this, even no matter what restrictions you had to put in place, right? Thank you for One Championship for going through this and setting everything up for us. But it's nice to go back home.
Yeah, is it tomorrow you leave? You got another 31-hour flight again with the connection?
Yeah, I think we've got an 8-hour leg, a 15-hour leg, and then like a 2-hour leg.
Okay.
Super crazy, but it's a long flight.
I suppose it's worth it, when you got that belt next to you in the seat, because I don't think there'll be many people on there, right? So you'll be able to put it right next to you, give it some leg room, Oh, we lost him. I think the connection over in Singapore has not been very good all week with these fighters. I'll try and get Tan back. But John, good to see Tan. Yeah, his face still a little busted up, isn't it?
Oh, there he is.
All
Looks
right.
like he's back.
I think we got you back. Can you hear us?
I'm sorry, guys.
You think like Singapore would
Yeah.
have some good Wi-Fi, right? Like this is Asia. Come on, we're the hub
Yeah, I
of
thought-
technology. Why don't we have good Wi-Fi in Asia? Let's go.
Yeah, it's a good hotel over there in Singapore.
It's a trip, man.
I mean,
Can you
I've
hear
been
us?
playing Warzone all week. No problem. I can't finish a FaceTime call with you guys.
Maybe it's us. Might be my end. I don't know.
sorry.
Yeah. Well, look, you provided the first big shock of the night there. It was a night of shocks, I think. Martin lost, and then Ongla lost to Reinier de Ridder. What did you make of the events, of the rest of the night? Who impressed you? Christian Lee also got his first title defense pretty quick over Iuri Lapicus.
Yeah, both fights were great. I saw highlights. I was in the back getting, like hands wrapped up, and I went to get x-rays just to make sure nothing was broken or anything, but I didn't get to see the full fights, highlights. But yeah, man, it's awesome on Christian. He came out on fire. Got stumbled a little bit, but ended up doing a great job after that. And then I didn't get to see. I saw the finish for Aung, but I didn't get to see what was leading up to that. So I've got to go back and watch those. But from everything that I've heard, hell of a show. It was
Tan's internet is a little bit scratchy again. I don't know if you could hear us still. He's dipping in and out. I thought the Singapore Wi-Fi was meant to be amazing. It's playing up a little bit here. Can you still hear us, Tan? Maybe go in and out if you can hear us. Come back in the studio. Or should I try and remove him? Would that work and re-add him? There you go.
Oh, did he come back out?
I think so.
Now we got two of them. Oh, there you go.
We got two. How's that?
This is the worst ever, huh?
It's a little bit better. I don't know what's going on with the Singapore Wi-Fi. I thought it was good.
Yeah, me too. I'm gonna hold the record for the worst interview you guys have ever done. Sorry.
Oh, it's all right, man. We got everyone's hat game strong, says John KL. Yeah. What have you got on yours? I can't see it from the top.
It's one of my sponsors. It's my home state of Louisiana.
Nice.
Repping the boot. Your Go Lay Down head. Y'all go check them out.
Well, yeah, I was asking you about some of the other fights. We got a bit of your answer, but one I think you probably were paying attention to was Christian. Very impressive. I know you want to defend that featherweight belt, but you said to me before you're interested in paying Christian a visit up in his division. You still interested in that, the way he performed, and when would you like to maybe think about doing that? is a better
And it's
connection.
like the FBI is like,
Yeah.
the FBI hacked us.
Yeah.
What's going on?
Maybe it's Onglar's fans are unhappy. They're hacking us. We've lost Tan again.
Yeah.
His connection's been a bit dicey here. Hopefully we can get him back.
There
He
he
keeps
is.
signing in and out. Oh my god. We got 4.
there's
We got 2 times.
there you go.
We'll see if this plays out.
I wonder what's going on with the Wi-Fi. Usually those hotels have good Wi-Fi. You know, I mean, even in Thailand, Wi-Fi is really good in most hotels. So
Yeah, I'm not sure exactly where they're staying. I think it's near. Oh, they told me before. I forgot. It's meant to be a pretty good hotel, of course.
yeah, of course. You know, I mean, they don't play around with the hotels. One championship.
Yeah, I've been in a couple of nice ones while covering some events for them.
Yeah,
God bless
I
Tan.
want to get his
He's trying to
thoughts
jump
on
back in.
I want to get his thoughts on the Gary Tonin and Matsushima fight. I wonder what he thinks about that. Like, what his what his prediction on that fight is.
Are you back with us? Can you hear us?
I think so.
All right. Well, yeah, John's got a question for you. If we're able to ask it, John, go ahead.
Yeah, most likely the number one contender fight. We spoke about it earlier is Matsushima and Tonin. How do you see that fight playing out? Of course, it's going to be very interesting to watch. It could go many different ways, like you said. But what do you see?
Yeah, there's so many ways this could play out, right? It's gonna obviously start on the feet, so we're gonna see a little more stand up with his unique style of his head movement, his forward pressure, and his to throw his hands. Um, he's obviously his defense and how protected he needs to be. Close the gap, and then it'll be interesting to see Matsushima. Most likely not rely on just shooting for the legs as a quick defense for any kind of pressure.
We're getting little bits in between.
So it's funny to kind of weigh those things out. Sides. But if I had to pick,
Yeah,
I'd probably say
it does sound like a
Tony.
robot here. We lost Tan again, I think.
Maybe we gotta give up.
We'll have to catch up with Tan Lee in
when he gets
America.
back to the States. Yeah,
Yeah,
we'll have
I'll
him on, in the future episode.
We could try again
of the live chat.
What's going on over there? Is he back? Can you hear us at all? It's frozen again.
I can. Did you catch any of that answer?
It sounded like a robot. Yeah.
Todd, I feel like we should catch up with you when you get back to Louisiana. When the Wi-Fi and the internet is more stable.
Guys,
Can we? Did he?
I don't know. Frozen again. Can you hear us? I think
Tan, if you could hear us,
yeah, I think I'll tell Tan to catch up when he's back in the US. because the Wi-Fi in this Singapore hotel where the one championship fighters are staying is seemingly horrendous. Hopefully that doesn't affect our next guest, Antonio Caruso. Maybe he's in a different wing of the hotel, I hope, or a different area.
I guess not.
Can you hear us, Tan? All right, if you can hear us, it's being suggested to me to connect to the room Wi-Fi. I don't know if that will help you.
That's probably what he's doing, but there you go.
Wow.
Well, that was, we had a good little 10-minute chat with Tan Lee, and we got some good stuff from him, and we'll definitely catch up with him. When he gets back and gets, because he'll probably be in 2-week quarantine in the States, most likely, right? So, maybe we'll get him on the show in next week or the week after, while he's at home, because his home Wi-Fi. You've done an interview with him from his house, right? So it's spectacular.
Yeah, it was splendid.
Yeah,
no problems there. So maybe we'll catch up with Tan when he's home. I'll just tell Tammy.
Yeah,
the PR. Here's Chris. Yes, boys, watching live from the dentist chair. Hope that's not the dentist chair that Paul Gascoigne famously was in Hong Kong. Chris, maybe the drugs, but I'm so happy for Tan Lee. Can't think of many other people who deserved it so much. Yeah, he does deserve it. I think I was talking to Chris yesterday about it. I'm surprised he didn't get a contract out of the Contender Series, and I was surprised he got cut by LFA. I think this is a real vindication for him. He's a very talented guy, isn't he?
Well, everything works out, and looks like Antonio's coming in now. Hopefully. Oh God.
We got Antonio. Hopefully your Wi-Fi is a little bit better. We've just had Tan Lee on before you, and it kept chopping in and out. I'm not sure. You're probably still in the same hotel, right?
We are in the same hotel, so all right.
Yeah, fingers crossed, because the connection was awful there. But yeah, Tony, how's it going, man? Impressive win on Friday against Eduard Folayang. A real impressive display from you, and you got things rolling for that move up into the top 5. What's next for you?
Man, next for me is go home, enjoy the time with my family and my friends, and I really missed them, man, over the last 8 weeks, man. This is the hardest, like camp of my life, and to get on that plane I'm not gonna lie, man, first time ever, and I love to see the world, I love to travel. It was hard, man, to get away from my family and friends, but at the same time, man, I knew that October 30 was going to change my life, man, and I said that from the second I got on that plane. They will know my name. Everyone will finally know my name. They'll finally pay me the respects that I deserve, man, in this sport. And secondly, I'm going to, prove to myself that I am world class. I have what it takes to be a world class, athlete and fighter, and I've done that, on October 30, and that's the thing I was most proud about, to finally get in there, because I come from a little place in Adelaide, man, and I don't want to get too cynical and crazy. People might think that I'm trying to always play this on. But it's true, man. I come from a little town in Adelaide, man, where you can't even get on a plane and travel the world. That's crazy. Like, nah, you got to stay home and get a job, and get a family. That's life. That's all we know. And I'm like, nah, man. My dad taught me from a kid, man, that the world is huge, man, and we can do anything. And yeah, man, I proved that to myself, and now I'm like, yeah, man, like I have what it takes to win world titles. I have what it takes to beat the best guys in the world. So. Yeah, man, it's a really, really uplifting for me, man. I feel like sometimes I'm living in a movie, but yeah,
You've been able to celebrate at all? I think, I messaged you briefly the other day. Enjoying yourself? I know you're stuck in that hotel room. Maybe have a couple of beers.
Yeah, we had a big party, man. What could you do? Nothing. You sat in your room by yourself. But like I sat down, and for me, it was just I'm not a huge party guy. Like I got a bottle of red wine. I do like a nice red wine and a bit of food. And yeah, man, for me, I'm not a huge party. I just want to see my family and friends. That's what I did it for. I sacrificed for this now. I just want to see them. So it was a bit of a virtual party. I rang them and had a chat, because there was big parties at my house. Actually, I don't know if any of you seen on my social media, it was crazy there, man. They had like 100 people at my house. There was like flares. There were people going crazy. I was like, whoa, man, like this is pretty intense, man. Oh, it was pretty humbling to see that, man. Like, because we got like cameras at my house, so I watched them back after on the and wow, yeah, there was just people. Even my brother's like, yeah, people came from all over, like didn't even know they were. With like 100, like about 100 people there. Like I said, there was flares, people going crazy, chanting. But yeah, it was pretty cool, man. I was like, you know, this is the start of something massive, hopefully.
Yeah, it's definitely you know your biggest win, I think, in one. You're very respectful afterwards with Eduard, and you know they've shown that respect back to you on social media. What's the response been like from the Philippines? I know they're very passionate fans. Have you been getting messages? Yeah, it's all
Yeah, I
answered,
mean,
hopefully.
yeah, good. Yeah, like I'm mainly on the one Instagram page. Like a lot of Filipinos adding me on Facebook. Also, a lot of people from Myanmar, they've been adding me and then sending a lot of nice messages. Yeah, so they've been doing pretty cool things, man. And like I said, man, it was a cool fight for me. Like I said, because Edward's obviously I'm a big fan of him, but I really love the Filipino fans. I went over there for Martin's fight, man, and yeah, man, the way they treat us fighters is like crazy. And I was like, man, I'd love to, to fight here one day in the Philippines. And they're just great fans, man. They really are. They make you feel like it's worth it getting beat up. You get beating your body up every day. It's worth it when you get to. They don't want photos with you. They don't want to talk with you. They don't want to take videos of you. And they just make you feel, like a superstar. And I really like the Filipinos. I'm a big fan of them.
I'm gonna try and find the footage of your fight, but yeah, John, go ahead. Sorry.
Yeah, in the fight, you controlled the fight really well from the start, man. And did you feel like Edward's ground game was not as good as you expected, or was it better?
Yeah. No, I gotta say when he got up so quick and so strong. Like he's just so. I gotta admit, in that second round, we know when I bellied out and I went in and he sort of got on top. And that guillotine was close, and I was like, but I had his legs because I could hear my corner, my quads going, be careful your neck, be careful your neck. I was like, yeah, no, because I had control of his legs. I was like, he won't be able to wrap up and get a tight guillotine, man. And the guy just squeezed it with just his arms, and honestly, I was like, man, I'm gonna go out here. So I quickly I bellied out, rolled out, and lucky I've been in those situations plenty of times, but. Yeah, I got to admit, I was like, wow, that nearly caught me. But on the ground, yeah, I was not surprised because, like I said, I watched this guy inside and out. I've watched him for so long. I studied him so much going into this fight. I was really confident in what I knew about him. And yeah, on the ground, I wasn't overly surprised that he did struggle a bit on the ground with me. But that was expected, man. When I'm a bigger, stronger fighter, I felt on the day and I imposed my will and my grappling on him, and that was the plan.
You also dropped him too, man. Like that punch. Was it something that you've been working on against the arsenal that he has?
Well, not so much for his arsenal, just in general with Henry. You know what I mean? Henry's got an awesome striking. What's the word? Ideas, man. He's got us in there every day, not working specifics all the time, but just his whole entire concepts and ideas that he's got us fighters working on. And that's what it came off. I watched it because do you remember this? I was like, no, I went back and watched the tape and I was like, it's just literally off a combination that Henry showed us 100 times over to warm up with, you know what I mean? It's something that I use as a warm up. But, now it just flows because you just do it repetition. So that just shows you, you know what I mean? Like, timing, can beat, power, you know what I mean? And that's what he's done, he's just put that timing in us that's a credit to Henry and his system that he's teaching us down there.
Obviously a great night for you, but it was a tough one for your teammates. Martin and Aung both lost their belts. What's it been like, because you got to have that, it must be quite bittersweet for you because I know you guys are so close.
It is. Because for me, once again, you know what I mean, it falls back on only that and I messaged them both telling them, not only are you my teammates, not only are you my friends, but honestly, like they're two guys that before I got signed, I was, man, they were like, they're idols to me. I was like, man, if I could reach the heights of these two guys one day, it would be so humbling. And now they'd now be actually friends and teammates with them. So yeah, it hurt me as a fan, it hurt me as a friend, and it hurt me as a teammate. So it sort of made, it did for me personally detract a bit of the night. Like, I wish I could be with my teammates, and because that's what we do. With this, it's true. Like MMA is an individual sport, but we're not teammates, but we're brothers. It's a brotherhood, and that's how I feel. Like, hey man, we come over as a brotherhood. Yeah, they even said to me too, Tony, like, you enjoy your win. I said, oh look, man, of course I enjoy my win. I got the medallion, I won. I'm cool, but hey, it's on to the next one for me. But it hurts, man. I wanted my brothers and, like I said, my heroes to win as well, man. And so it did hurt a bit, but at the same time, they're the ultimate professionals. Those two, they're gonna come back bigger, badder, and stronger. And and they took it on the chin, like the true warriors that they are. And it's just a business, man. Like, you go in there, you check in for work, and it's not always going to be your day. So unfortunately, they lost, but I know they're going to be back in a scary way. So don't sleep on those boys.
Yeah, well, what about Edward? Because you said before the fight, this talk about retirement is stupid, and he said he doesn't want to retire, but where do you think he goes next in his career?
Man, at the end of the day, it's up to him and his team, I guess, him and his coach, and one championship. They're all going to have to sit down as a group and understand where does Edward go. One championship, I look at it from a business point of view, like, is it safe for you, and is it viable for us to keep putting you on cards? And at the same time, does he feel his body's still there, and his coach, do they want him to keep going? But in saying that, man, the guy's dangerous still. Like, he's still a dangerous, formidable opponent. There's a lot of guys who I think in that lower division wouldn't want to fight him. He's just in a way, he's like a Romero. He's dangerous, he's experienced, and sometimes the day falls your way, sometimes it doesn't. And I feel like I'm with such a tight game plan. He struggled with that, and you know what I mean. So I don't really know what he should do with his career. That's up to him, and I wouldn't ever want to say it. But no matter what he chooses to do, he goes down as a living legend, man.
I'm just looking to find the highlights of your fight. Sorry, I wanted to show it to everyone.
Tony,
yeah.
with the fight, you, like I said earlier, you were dominating at the start, and in the third, it almost seemed like Edward was coming back.
Yeah.
Did you feel that in the midst of battle?
Yeah, like I said on many other interviews, I don't lie, man. A lot of fighters and athletes, they're like, nah, man. Hey, man, he was coming, and I knew it. I was like, in my head, I got up for that third, and I'm like, he's gonna come at me, man. Look, my dad. He's my dad. He's no tough guy, right? But I know if my dad's going down, he's going down in the flame of glory. So I'm looking at Edward thinking, yeah, man, he's an older guy. He's a father. He ain't going out without coming for like everything, So man, I'll give it to him, man. He came hard in that third, and he was hard to work in that third. I'm not gonna lie to you. He's a tough dude. But I knew that in Edward, you know what I mean? I definitely knew. I was like, he ain't gonna go out without a fight. He's gonna come and he's gonna try and kill me. And that's what I love about Edward. That's why I'm a fan of him. That's honestly why I'm a fan of him, because that's his mentality is, hey man, I know I'm gonna lose this fight, but I'm gonna come for you. And that's what I like about him.
Yeah, you dropped him there. That was impressive. Yeah. Did you think that you had him there? You can get him out?
No, I'm not going to lie. I dropped him. And once again, maybe I'm overly respectful of him because I dropped him and I thought, I know Eduard Folayang. He ain't out. Yeah, he's going to come. And I thought he was going to try and up-kick me. So I sort of approached it cautiously and probably a bit too cautiously, and I probably missed my chance to finish him. But, hey, at the end of the day, like I said, I'm still learning, man. I feel like, honestly, that fight to me was me at 60%. I feel like I've got way more to give, man. And that's what's scary about me. Once I start believing in myself and really start getting everything in line, I don't see many guys who are going to stop me, man. Like, I really don't. So, for me, I'm still growing, man. So if I was in the, lower division, I'd start watching me now. Because you better watch out, guys. Like, I'm going to be standing in front of all of you soon. So you best be careful.
The height difference for me was pretty stark.
I think that's what one thing that people didn't take into consideration too much because of the last fight. Because I was so short to Peter, he was just assuming I'm short as well. And I knew that going in. I did. I was like, then they're not going to consider my height. And because I'm that wrestler, they're not going to think that wrestling is, he's tall. It doesn't really matter if he's, tall. But I knew, we were working a lot on my jab and my strike, and I thought, if I can get my hands working, that's where it's going to surprise everybody because I'm so much taller than him. If I can keep him on the end of my punches, it's going to add another like fact that he's got to think about. Like now I can't even get on the inside, and then when he does get on the inside, well, that's his problem. I'm going to wrestle you to the ground. So we went in, like I said, like up here I was 100% ready. Like I've never ever felt that feeling in my life. Honestly, I walked. They come and got me. They come and said, Tony, you're up next. I've got my stuff. And I was just like, yeah, this is just another day, man. I'm here to just go out there and have a bit of a, like, honestly, to have a bit of a punch up. You know, I know it sounds crazy to say it, but I'm going to go out there, have a scrap, and that's all it is, man. You're just going to go out there and you're just going to, like you do every week at Sanford. And let's, without being any disrespect, but, we have harder rounds at Sanford sometimes. Like, I walk out of there, that room's not thinking, damn, like, man, I don't know if I want to go back on Thursday. This is crazy. So credit to our gym. Like Henry has such a high like pace, that we can. I feel confident there. Like a lot of people were saying, Edward, are you sure you're ready for Edward? And I was like, look, man, I love Edward too. Like I'm a huge fan. But do you know who I train with? Like, do you know who's in that room? But I work on a regular basis, and I forget to say his name a lot, with a guy called Gilbert Burns. Probably one of the scariest guys at 170 in the world. Like, and he's just a regular everyday training partner for us. Like, dude, like, no offense, like, I'm working with him, like Michael Chandler, like Martin Nguyen, Aung La, you know what I mean? Like, there's so many names that I could keep going off. And these are guys that you guys know, the names that you don't even know, sometimes even the scarier guys, like Mark Quez, my corner guy, we live together and train together, but he is a beast. You know what I mean? He puts like work on me that, and I was like, man, this is the standard that we've got. Like why would I be afraid to fight anyone? Like, Robbie Lawler, and it's here. That's why I'm saying I went in 100% ready because I'm like, dude, I compete against some of the best guys in the world and just on a daily basis for fun. So it helps, and that's I couldn't be thankful enough to my team at Sanford. Greg, Cammy, and Henry. Like these guys have created such an atmosphere that it's crazy. And like I said, Greg made one of the best calls this camp. To the group, he said, we don't lose, we only run out of time. And that's what I'm saying. It's the attitude that we breed there. Is we're not the best, we're not the greatest. We don't want to be told that. We want to strive to be the greatest. So these guys are setting such good things here and in our bodies that man, that's why our team gets the results.
We got a fan question. So, what's Antonio's favorite meal? I don't know, a bit random. What is it then?
You know what? She'll love this one. She'll love this. At the moment, my favorite meal that I'm craving when I get home is my girlfriend. She makes artichokes. She makes these artichokes with the meat in it and sauce. She's gonna love that. Like that's gonna make her life that I just mentioned there on this podcast. So that's for you at least. There you go, babe. There you go. Now you can go stop yelling at me for a year. Yeah, her artichoke. Oh, and then next level when her mum's cooking, I got to give it to her. Her mum's cooking, proper Italian style food, and I love it. So when it comes to meal, it's hard to say, but her artichokes I miss, but I love all food, man. You put anything in front of me and I'll eat it. I love it.
What did you have after the fight? You said you had some wine and some food. Was it you picking out or what?
No, I didn't even pick out that much. Actually, I didn't even eat after the fight. To tell the truth, I had to come home and have one peanut butter jam wrap, and but that night I didn't get any wine because I was pretty, like, my foot was pretty sore, so I was like, I better not drink nothing, I better take care of myself, and went to bed, and I only slept for an hour because my foot was in a lot of pain. I must have hit his knee, but I had X-ray and that, nothing's broken, which is good. And I didn't even eat because after the fight, I ate so much before the fight. I'm that sort of person, like I either can go days without eating or I just got to eat like non-stop. And unfortunately, fight day, I just kept eating so much food. And I went in after the fight and I was really sick. And I was like, and the doctors had me, they're like, I don't know what's wrong, man. I'm really sick. I feel like adrenaline. And then without freaking out all your fans, I threw up. And, and then I literally, I was on the bed. I thought I was having to go to hospital. I'm like, man, I'm not going to make it. I'm dying here. And then I threw up. And I was like, all right, dog, thank you. See you later. I'll see you at the next fight. And walked out. He's like, yeah, see you later. So that was pretty cool. That was pretty funny. I didn't eat after the fight, but last night I had honestly, I haven't even. Aung got us a burger. Actually, he got us some burgers, so that was nice. Thanks, Aung, you're a legend. And then just a bit of red wine with it and just chilled, man. Like, not a big party guy. Like I said, for me, this fight, I called it, man. I don't want to come across arrogant, but I told people, all my friends and family, oh my God, you should be jumping on, you'd be going crazy right now. I said, no, I'm not, man, because I told you I was going to win this fight. That was set. Like, there's nothing else happening. Like, I will win that fight. I knew it. Like, in my head, it was set. I'm winning this fight. I've got it. So when I came into the room, me and my coach just watched Martin and Aung, and that stung at her. And then we watched my fight back. We were talking to each other on FaceTime. We watched the fight back over FaceTime, me and my cornerman. And then you know what I mean. I was like, all right, man, I'm going to go to bed and relax now. You know what I mean? So that's all, you know, and that's what it was. And just want to lay down. And you know, like I said, I'm just ready to go back home and start training again. And you know, now that you know, I've come to realise that this is my career, this is my job. I can make it, so it's time to get to work.
Got another question quickly from one of the fans, one of Aung La's fans. We got a lot of Burmese fans here. Yeah, they're just asking what you think his level is like. Obviously, with these people he trains with, compared to Usman, Brunson, and Johnson, people like that. Where does Aung stand for you?
He's a beast, man. He is the mindset on him is something different, man. Like, when you meet a guy like him, it's like I don't know. I've done so many interviews and I can't remember who it was to, but I said about him, you know, he's just the sort of guy that you know, his mindset is like he's so humble, respectful, down to earth, but so hard working, and he just has nothing but pure and good intentions for everybody. Like, honestly, like, some people might watch him and think that he is fake, but he is not, man. He is honestly, like, he is a really, really good person, man. And we're lucky as in teammates and a gym to have access to him every day. And yeah, man, like, his level is like, he's ridiculous. So you can't judge him off that fight. People are going to him, be like, oh, I knew he didn't have a ground game, but he does. You know what I mean? He got caught. Like, the thing is, a lot of people watch. When they watch, fans especially, they watch you as a fighter. They never watch the other guy, and they're like, "Oh, I knew it that you were." So, you know, I am good, but also there are guys who are just as good as me out there. And you know, sometimes we do get caught, we do lose, and you know, he took his chance there, and he got it, and that's why you got to give him that respect. He took his shot, and he got it. So, you know, congratulations to you, man. But just like, you know, it is martial arts. Aung will go back. He will, review what he did wrong, and he'll come back, and I guarantee, man, he will get his belt back. I know him, man. I know that I've seen the look in his eyes, you know what I mean? And he's going to come with everything. So, you know, don't write off Aung La. And he's if not better than all those names, he's just as good. Let me guarantee that. But the Burmese fans, they're legends. Like, I've got to say, man, they are. How do you say Bing La? They say how you say in Bing Ma. I'm pretty sure they were teaching me, because when they'd watch our live, there was like something like ridiculous numbers of people watching us live, and I'd say hello to them all in Burmese, and you know, wish them. A lot of them would message me after the fight. We're so happy, but Aung La lost. We're so sad. I'm like, they like, honestly, I think it's humbling. He's like an Elvis Presley. That's what I tell him. I'm like, you're like the Asian Elvis Presley, bro. Like, you really are, man. Like, these people love him. I'm like, and he's like, yeah, you know, it's cool, man. He goes, I said, man, I can imagine like how, like, it would be so much pressure on him, but at the same time, so much motivation, you know. So I'm proud of the guy, man. Like, and like I said, I'm happy that I get to call him a teammate, and you know that he's, you know, that I get to, you know, train alongside the guy.
Yeah.
What's the next move for you, man? Like, you just beat Edward. Like, that's a big win. That's the biggest win, like you said. What's the next guy? Like, what names do you have in your mind? Who you want to pick?
Man, like, to me, it was pretty cool to get in there and mix it with the, you know, the legend, man. So, hey, you know, anyone else they got there, that's a, you know, the bigger names, you know, they're cool for me. I like them. That was fun. If they want to get the, you know, a show, you know, going over in America, you know, I know one championship looking at that, and they want you know, a name for that. Hey, man, Eddie Alvarez and me, that'd be a fun fight for me. I'd love to see, you know, I'd love to get like share the ring with him. But yeah, man, anyone out there, man, I'm cool to fight. You know what I mean? Like, I got faith in my championship, and I got faith in my team to, you know, give me the best fights possible. But yeah, that you know, I'm not gonna lie, the Eddie Alvarez fight would be fun. I like him too because he's in Philadelphia, man, and I believe I'm the real life Rocky. So I want that. I want that title. I want to be the king of Philly. You know what I mean? So that would make for a fun fight. But yeah, whoever they got for me, you know, they're doing take Jeremy World One Championship so far. So we'll see what they say.
What do you think about Amir Khan or even, you know, like a Shinya Aoki? You know, that's a legend right there.
Yeah, even because I've seen he's right on that number 5'9", and I thought, well, if they wanted to call that fight up, you know what I mean? I'd love to fight a high level grappler like him. You know what I mean? Like now I get to test my striking and my jiu-jitsu, you know what I mean, on the ground and really be tested. So yeah, that could be a fun fight. I mean, Amir Khan, I've had the pleasure of training with Amir. Me and Amir are actually friends and that. But yeah, man, like if that's what they wanted, if that's what they wanted to do, like yeah, man, like I'm just happy to be challenged, man, and get in there and like I said, now and it's coming true to me now that I got what it takes and to take on these people. And yeah, man, you know, just give me a name and you know, me and my team will talk about it and go from there. But yeah, it's definitely now it's a fun like future now. You know, like in my head, even I spoke with a good friend of mine, a close friend of mine, Tom got to meet us. You know what I mean? And we spoke up and he goes, now it's a career. He goes, you know that. But before we were, he goes, to me, you know, he's my biggest fan. I love him. He's a champion. I love him too. He goes, you're in a fork in the road, man. He goes, you know, you lose, you still got fights in your contract, but you know, now you're pretty far behind the eight ball. This fight, if you win, it's your career now. It's like it's go time, and that's what it is to me now. It's, you know, I'm believing in myself that it's go time, and that it's, you know, it's a full time career now. So, you know, you know, I'm excited for the future and whoever they put in front of me.
I know you were confident going into this fight, but you know, winning this fight the way that you won it, you know, in striking and on the ground, it must validate the confidence too, you know, moving forward, and then you could go into these bigger fights, feeling confident but not overconfident. You know what I mean?
Yeah, exactly. No, don't get me wrong. You know what I mean? Like, and I openly would say to the people leading up to the fight was, hey, I'm super confident that I'm going to win this fight. I've got that locked in my head. But at the same time, I realize this game is called life. And, you know, you can wake up every day and think you're going to get your breakfast, but some days it ain't there, you know what I mean? It just ain't there. So I knew going into this fight, hey, I'm in my head, I'm set on beating Edward. But at the same time, man, I know one of those spinning heels catch me right on that chin, bro. Good night. I know he catches me one of those spinning back fists. Good night. So I'm no fool who's going to walk in and be like, now I got this covered. Super confident, but I'm like super confident because I feel like I know everything. But on the day, Edward could do anything he wants to me, and I could do anything to him, and it could have went. Like I said, that guillotine come on, and I was like, yeah, he's going to get me the guillotine. The one thing I didn't consider, you know, was his jiu-jitsu, and you know, lucky was to get away with it. So I know that the work paid off, but you know, I was super confident here. But I know, you know, going in, you had to respect the guy 100%. So I got to a point in my mind where I respect the guy, I learned everything about him. I'm a fan of him, but at the same time, I was willing to go in there and beat him, you know what I mean? So they had to be careful there because I didn't want to go in with too much respect and be like, oh, no, I don't want to hit him. Hey, man, at the end of the day, it's a job. He's got to win, I've got to win. I'm a fan, but once that door locked, it was, no, I don't like you anymore. So you got it. It's great. It's a crazy game, this one.
Yeah, man. Well, that's why I love it. That's why everybody loves it.
Honestly, it is. You know, living now with what I do in Florida and with other fighters, sometimes we bounce off each other because I can't talk to a lot of people back home about it because people don't understand this game. They don't get it. You know what I mean? Like, and I don't mean that in a bad way, but anyone can kick a soccer ball. Anyone can, you know, kick a footy. Anyone can do a lot of ball sports. They're in a sense, no offense, but they're easy. You know, and they're there for entertainment. Fighting is entertaining, but it's something, bro. We're putting our lives on the line here every day. Like, we literally walk in there. I don't know if I'm going to come out alive. And sometimes, what's it all for? You know what I mean? Like, what, a couple of grand, you know, in the bank. You know what I mean? And we might not even get a career out of it. So people got to realize, man, as fighters, like, it's a crazy world out there. And you know, we do what we do for the love of just like adrenaline junkies. So it's people don't really understand, and I really hope one day to do like you guys do, like a podcast, and I'd love to talk to more fighters and like open up about us, man, because I think a lot of fighters they don't want to tell people really what's going on in here. I don't want to, because I want everyone to think I'm bulletproof. Yeah, man. Hey, come October 30, I'm bulletproof. When that door locks, man, let's go, man. Who wants to have a shot? Like, I'll fight anyone in this cage. But prior to that, man, sometimes you're like, oh, I don't know, man. Like, this game's weird. I don't want to do it anymore. And then you wake up the next day and you're like, yeah, I can't wait to fight something. You wake up the next day and you're like, nah, I'm over it. You know, so it's a lot goes on in our head, man, and it's a crazy game. And, you know, on the best, I was so sick. You know, after the fight, and my corner, but Tony was the worst. I said, man, I wouldn't have it any other way. I wouldn't have it any other way, man. Like I'm laying here in all this pain and all this agony, but at the same time, it makes me so happy that I'm smiling, going, oh man, I'm in pain. But like even after my last fight, I'll never forget, man. You guys are gonna think I'm crazy. The whole world's gonna think I'm crazy after this podcast. I'm sitting in the back of the hospital van, and I just remember, like, man, I was dying in so much pain. And I remember just saying to myself, I was like, man, I'm literally like Rocky 1, you know, when he finishes the fight and he goes to the hospital. I was like, this is the coolest thing ever, man. Like, it's like actually happening. This is a real movie. So, man, I'm not lying, man. I just enjoy this journey. I love it, man. And it's so much fun for me to do what I'm doing. And especially when people from back home, they're calling me, man. And they're like, people were ringing me literally at like 5 o'clock Singapore time, 5 a.m., which is like early hours of the morning in Australia. Even after my fight, they're ringing me like, because I stayed up till about 2 o'clock, so it'd been like 5 a.m. and people are ringing me going, man, I can't sleep, dude. Like, I can't sleep. Like, I'm that buzzed out what you just done. Like, they were going crazy in Adelaide, man. I couldn't believe like the buzz, like so many messages, and yeah, I couldn't believe the support, man. And it's so humbling, and I really hope that, you know, they you know, like people get inspired by what I do, and I want them to chase their dreams, you know what I mean? So, like I said, if I can do it, anyone can do it. Seriously, dude. Like, I was useless at everything. So if I'm doing it, you can do it. Trust me.
Well, we're going to have Reinier de Ridder coming on in a few minutes, so we can get one more question from the fans for you quickly. I think it's another one of the Burmese Massive. They're asking your thoughts on the top 5 of your division. Yeah.
Yeah, I think the top 5 is a solid group, but there's definitely some names that I believe I can beat and get out of there. So I want to see my name in the top 5. So, you know, enjoy their time while they're there now and get ready, because, you know, it's going to get a shake-up soon. You know, I'm coming for, you know, everything now. And so the top 5 boys are on my radar. So, yeah.
All right. Well, yeah, you said it yourself. There's a new superstar in town, Chatri.
That's it, man. So,
have you spoken to him at all? Has he said anything to you?
I mean, I got to say, it's one really cool thing about One Championship. You know, I mean, I love working for him because, you know, not long after the fight, you get a direct message from, you know, the boss, man. He's a busy man. You know, he's got his own life going on. He's got a massive show. I'm sure he had a lot of problems to deal with this week. And then he still took his time to message me and send me a good message. We spoke back and forth. And I told him straight himself, said, you just got yourself a new superstar, man. And I believe that, you know, in my heart, and is you know, I'm supposed to do something big with my life, and I think this is it, man. So I'm just, you know, I wanted to let him know that, you know, the record, that there is a new superstar in this game, and his name's Antonio Caruso. So I'm ready to take on the watch.
I can't wait to see how this career unfolds for you, man. Really enjoyed watching that, and it's real pleasure to talk to. Thanks so much for coming on the show again.
Thank you for having me, boys. I really appreciate your time, and like I said the other day, you guys are doing a great job, and thanks for supporting, you know, the promotion. Thanks for supporting us fighters, and yeah, onwards and upwards. I'm sure we'll have many more conversations. And
yeah, you're gonna let us know when you have a fight, and
have more airport stories for you.
Let's see what you get up to the next time you fly in. Yeah. All right, man. Yeah, keep in touch. Yeah, thanks a lot, mate.
Thank you, boy. Bye.
Right. Always fun to chat to Tony Caruso there. Great win for him, wasn't it, John? And there's plenty options for him now in that division. I think Shinya Aoki, that looks like a good fight. Get that number 5 ranking.
There's a bunch of them. There's Shinya Aoki, F. Ting, Ariel Sexton is another good matchup there. Amir Khan, you know, he has a lot of options. I think they're gonna give him one of those names because none of those guys are booked for fights. So why not? You know, I mean, give him the opportunity. He just beat Eduard Folayang, so do it. One championship. Chatri's watching right now. We know he is. Chatri, do it. You know, I think Ariel Sexton would be a good matchup, to be honest with you. I think that Ariel Sexton, he had to pull out of that lightweight tournament last year due to an injury. He hasn't fought in a while. He has a great ground game, and he's a wild man on the feet. it's a good clash of styles. I think those guys will make an exciting fight. I think it'll be more exciting than his last fight against Edward, to be honest with you. So we got Reinier coming on. Man, he said that he was gonna go in there and choke out Aung, and that's what
He
he
did
did,
it.
man. He did it
Yeah.
exactly as he predicted, and that, you know, that's what you love to see in MMA, you know, which, you know, because it's a game that it's not even a game. It's a sport that anything could happen, and when you're able to call your shot and accomplish that in a fight against the highest level fighters in the world, that's just incredible, man. And props to Reinier for doing that. And I'm pretty sure, you know, a lot of people are sad, but man, I bet you a lot of people are happy too in the Netherlands. And he's from the Netherlands, right?
Yes.
Yeah, right. So yeah, and it was a big weekend for his team. You know, Musasi, he
Musasi,
won the
yeah.
middleweight title over there in Bellator, and Reinier won the middleweight title in one championship. So those guys that just added 2 more belts to their gym wall, which is incredible, man. It just shows you how MMA is so international. It's not like Brazil dominating. It's not the US dominating. Now it's just so worldwide. Like there's champions all over the world, everywhere. And even in one championship, you know what I mean? And it just shows you that one championship is not just focused on Asia. They're focused on expanding worldwide. And you could tell by the champions that they have that that's their focus, man. Because how many European champions do they have?
Ooh, I'm
They
trying to
have
think
quite a
off the top of
few,
my head.
man. The
Yeah.
welterweight champion is
Abasov,
European.
yeah.
Yeah. And you
Used to be
got
Kazakhstan as well, was Sweden, yeah.
yeah,
You
he was
got
Sweden, and then you got Reinier, you know, and then you got a couple like American champions with you know, with
well,
like
you had
Asian
Jonathan Haggerty
background.
was
Yeah. UK.
flyweight Muay Thai. Yeah,
Yeah, he was
UK.
UK. And then you got a Petrosian, you know, he's
Yeah.
Italian, right? There's a bunch, man. I wanted to go over some controversy, man, because there's a lot of, even like people wrote articles about it on some of the websites about Christian Lee's win over Lapicus. They're talking about how that was due to illegal strikes to the back of the head, man. And I'm not going to deny that he did hit him in the back of the head a few times, but it wasn't every shot. Like some people are going overboard and saying every shot was to the back of the head. You know, what did you think, you know, watching that fight?
It didn't cross my mind immediately, but then I've been hearing a bit of chatter about it. Yes, and you asked me immediately as soon as I jumped back in the Fight Companion. You said, "What do you think of that Christian finish?" And then I think about it. Yeah, I think there were a couple of shots to the back of the head, but I think there were a couple of shots to the back of the head when Conor McGregor beat Dustin Poirier. You know what I mean? It
Yeah.
happens sometimes. Do I think it would have changed the outcome of the fight? I'm not sure. I think Christian looked great. He's looked great the last few times I've seen him. He gets better each time, which is scary. I don't think we can take anything away from him. I don't think Lapicus had any answers. When the fight started, I thought, oh, damn. You know, Lapicus took him straight down, but Christian got out of it. And we got a comment here. One of our users thought the strikes were mostly legal. It was a fair stoppage. Lapicus ate too many unanswered shots. Yeah, I agree with you. I think that's my take on it. What's your take, John? Because you were leaning towards illegal strikes.
Yeah, there was some illegal strikes, but at the same time, he was moving. And then when he stopped moving, that's when the fight was over, because it looked like he was knocked out. Like he was just stuck in a position where he was out cold. And Christian Lee after that was just, you know, pounding away on unanswered shots. But in MMA, you know, when you're rolling around and the guy on top of you is trying to punch you in the face and you're rolling around, of course, some of those punches we're gonna land in, you know, in the back of the head. You know what I mean? It's just what happens. But I could understand that side too. You know, some people, they want to see it because they wanted Lapicus to win. You know what I mean? Like there's people out there like that too. Like they really wanted Lapicus to win the title, and that's how they see the fight, and that's up to you. You know, you have your right to an opinion, but I'm saying Christian Lee won that fight. You know what I mean? Like he knocked him out. Were there some shots to the back of the head? Yes. But were most of the shots not to the back of the head? Yes. They were right on the they were right on the ear line, you know what I mean? Like right at the back of the ear, right? And I think back of the ear is legal, no?
I think so.
Yeah, I think that's legal, right? In any promotion. So, or the side of the head, it was in the side of the head. So I don't think that there's that much controversy. Yeah, and you made a great point about Dustin Poirier versus Conor McGregor. Nobody talked about that. You know what I mean? That finish, like Dustin Poirier had his head basically on the mat, and Conor McGregor was just hammer fisting him in the back of the head. And there was no articles written about that, it seemed like. So I don't understand why they want to hate on Christian Lee so much. But you know what? Christian Lee, a lot of people hate him, man. That's just apparent, it seems like. Don't you think? A lot of people do not like Christian Lee. They just don't want him to be a champion.
They don't want him to be a champion because they think it's one championship playing favoritism. It's Angela Lee's brother. They want to have the Lees have all the belts. Yada yada. Look, if they were playing favoritism with him, he wouldn't have won the belt. He would have lost it by now. The guy is legit,
and he wouldn't have even jumped in at the Grand Prix either. You know what I mean? Like, because at that point, Doggy was the most dangerous fighter in that division, right? And Christian Lee went in there on short notice and beat Doggy, right? If you were trying to play favoritism, you wouldn't have done that. You would have just had Christian Lee sit back and wait until whoever won the Grand Prix to come and fight him for the title, right? Not have Christian Lee jump in like that, on short notice.
I am still waiting for Reinier de Ridder to turn up, but it looks like we're going to be able to get Christian Lee in as well for 12:30.
Okay,
yeah,
that's wonderful. We're going to ask him about it, and
exactly.
Yeah, I haven't spoken with Christian Lee in a while, so I'm a lot of things have changed in his life. Didn't he say he's having his first child real soon? So
yes, with his new
makes
wife.
a huge difference. Yeah,
Congratulations to them.
It's gonna be good to speak with him. And it's just a lot of. I think people they only see what they want to see, and it goes also back to. If they had favorites, Victoria Lee would have got a title shot right off the bat. That that would be just too wild of a decision, right? Like if they decided like, oh, Victoria Lee, you're gonna get a title shot because Angela Lee is sitting out. No, that would be just crazy. I don't even think Victoria Lee is gonna, if they put her in the Grand Prix, I think that would be a huge mistake, to be honest with you, because the level of talent that's gonna be in that atomweight Grand Prix is just gonna be too high, and for Victoria Lee to just jump in there at such a young age. It might even just derail her career. You know what I mean? You want to build somebody up, right? You don't want to just throw them to the wolves. And Victoria Lee's not. I don't think that's a good idea for her. But I'm excited to see her fight and see what she can do against some of the lower level talent in that division. And I think that's what's going to happen. We're going to see her. Have you heard anything about her debut? Is it going to happen in December or anything, even in November?
Well, I feel there'll be another batch of fighters flying out next month or this month. We're in November already. God. Yes, looks like the next big show is November 20th, and then, they'll be filming a bunch of other fights before that. So you might be on one of those cards, maybe, or there could be another one in December is what I've heard. So every chance we see her before the end of the year. Yeah, I don't think it's going to be in a Grand Prix. I hope it's not either. I don't want to see that.
Yeah,
I don't think. Yeah,
go
get a few wins. But I'm excited to see it. The Lees are always entertaining. Christian Lee, he really earned my respect. He didn't need to. I mean, he probably doesn't give a damn about me. But that win in Tokyo last year solidified it for me, and he just went and blew my mind again all over. I don't know why I keep thinking this is it for Christian. Do people not respect Christian enough? I thought he's giving a couple of kilograms away in weight before this. This might be time for the shock. I don't know. I'm still trying to organize Reinier. We're waiting for him. But yeah, give us your thoughts on Christian again.
Yeah, it's just I want to. That's the thing that I want to focus on when we talk to him is why do people continue to count him out, or why do they continue to just not respect his overall skill set? You know what I mean? Is it because he's so young? Is it focused on the favoritism? I want to ask him about that too. It's like, why do you think people think they show you favoritism you know, in these fights. Like you fought some of the best guys in the division, you know what I mean? Like I don't understand. Like you've earned everything. He's earned everything that he's gotten basically, because you have to win the fights to get the shots, right? To get the belts. And it's in his future, it's not going to be an easy path either. You got killers waiting, you know, you got what's his name? You got Nasty Yukin coming, you got Eddie Alvarez, you got who else is there? You got Sexton, you got, you know, you could see the Shinya Aoki rematch. You could see a lot of fights playing out, you know what I mean? Like you got Doggy. Man, it's just, what do you expect? You got Peter Boyst also. He's
Mic
coming up
check.
in that division.
Yeah, that fight, Peter Boyce, Timothy Nasty Yukin, we will see on Friday at Inside the Matrix 2. Yeah, I think they recorded it already, but we don't know who's won. It'd be interesting to see that. What's your prediction, John, if you had to take a pick there, Tim or Peter?
I like both guys. I think both guys are great. But if there was odds, you know, I would take Tim Nasty. Whenever he comes off an injury, he comes off the injury like a bat out of hell, and he just does some violent actions in that cage. So we'll see what happens. But Peter Boyce, I think he's another guy that a lot of people underestimate too. Like they don't really think he's, you know, he has some big wins, and I think a lot of people just don't realize that right now, and what level of skill set he has. But
I
Tim
think if
Nasty
Peter
has that
loses
power,
that one,
man.
yeah.
He just
But
has that
if
power.
Peter loses this, you think maybe they rematch him and Antonio, because Antonio wants to get that O back, doesn't he?
No, I don't think they do that. I think that they would have to wait a little while to get a rematch going. There's so many other fights that you could put, you know, Peter in, you know, after this fight, win or lose, just like Antonio. You know, you could put Peter against a lot of guys. There's so many options now. That lightweight division is so stacked, and there's a lot of up and coming guys too. So, you know, there's no like, oh, this guy's limited to these matchups. It's not like that. There's going to be a lot of matchups.
Well, Aung Zormiat did ask this for Antonio, but I didn't get around to asking him that question. So maybe we can answer it for you. Predictions for DJ against Adriano. I know I'm Team DJ here, straight off the bat. John, you see any way that Adriano Moraes might be able to hold on to that flyweight belt?
I do see a lot of ways that he can hold on to that belt. Adriano, one thing about him is he's fast, and I feel like he can somewhat match the speed of DJ. He's much bigger and maybe much stronger than DJ. And his striking is up to par with DJ. It's just the wrestling. I'm just wondering about the rest, because the jiu-jitsu side, Adriano's a killer in the jiu-jitsu side. You know, you saw that one fight with Jehei Eustaquio, where he was destroying Jehei basically on the ground. You know what I mean? You know, he did everything to him besides submitting him. So I think a lot of people are underestimating Adriano in this fight. You know, it's hard to pick against DJ. It's like picking against Habib. You know, that's like you're picking against Habib. Basically, that's the same thing as picking against DJ. But if I was going to put a percentage onto it, I say it's about a 60-40 split in this fight. 60% with DJ and 40% with Adriano. I think a lot of people are underestimating Adriano and what he's doing right now down at ATT. With you should see the lineup that they have of training partners at ATT right now with flyweights and bantamweights. It's insane. You know, so many guys on there, such high level training. And we don't know exactly what DJ's been doing. You know, the last time I interviewed him, he was just doing like workouts at the local track, you know, at a high school or something like that. So it's but he's a professional DJ. He's been training for so long and he knows what he's doing. But I don't know. It all depends, and we haven't heard anything about them putting that fight together. Nothing. Even Chatri didn't even say anything. He said, "Oh yeah, they're gonna come back in early 2021." But he was more confirmed with Eddie Alvarez fighting compared to DJ, right?
Well, Chris thinks DJ by submission. Chris, I hope the dentist went well and they sorted out your teeth.
I hope you have all your teeth still.
We're supposed to have Reinier is gonna eventually join in in a few minutes, and then we're gonna have Christian Lee at 12:45 now. It looks like because Renier's a bit late. I guess another quick question from Sepiolot, one of our favorite users and commenters. Why was Christian given an immediate title shot at lightweight against Aoki? Wasn't he a featherweight up until that point? Well, Aoki called him out. I don't know whether it was suggested by One Championship that he should call out Christian. I think they wanted to move Christian up, maybe get him a shot at the belt, and maybe Aoki thought, I can handle this guy. I'm not entirely sure how that played out, but that would be my guess.
That's what I remember. That's what I remember too, is that Aoki wanted to fight Christian, and everybody was confused by that, right? Like, why would you call out a featherweight?
Yeah.
And Christian was talking about going up to lightweight, and then they've trained with each other in the past. I don't know if it was extensively, but I know that they did train with each other.
Yeah.
So
Travert Goose makes the point that the division was busy at that point with the Grand Prix, so Christian was available, wasn't he?
Yeah. You're right. He was. That was that at that time. And Christian took full advantage of that, right? And remember that first round, dude, that armbar was tight.
I think he broke his arm.
I think he probably did, you know what I mean? Like, we don't know for sure, but we should ask him when he comes on, right?
Yeah.
We should ask him, like, hey, was your arm broke, or did you take a lot of damage to that arm in that armbar with Aoki? Why? That's why we have this, you know what I mean? So we could ask people questions like that. So
yeah, well, this is cool. We're gonna have 4 of the winners from Inside the Matrix on SCMP ×1 live.
yeah, hopefully the Wi-Fi works though. That's
Yes.
Even Antonio's Wi-Fi was his video was like he was calling from 1950 or something, right?
Yeah, what was the noise in the background? I had no clue what
Exactly.
that
It
was.
sounded like there was a steamship behind him. Like, it was weird.
Well, let's see if Reinier, what happens. We had Tan Lee first interview on the show, but
That was a train wreck.
was dogged by Wi-Fi issues. Hopefully we get Tan back, because I was enjoying the chat. You know, he's a very fascinating guy.
Yeah,
very
he
intelligent
is.
guy.
I like talking to him. He has a different mindset than a lot of other people.
And he's just not afraid of anyone. He says he's gonna fight. He doesn't care about hanging on to the belt, he was saying.
Okay, here we go.
All right.
Hey, what's up, guys?
What's going on?
Hey, we got the new One Championship middleweight champ, Reinier de Ridder, in the house. How's everything over there?
Yeah. Very good, very good. Last few hours because we're leaving tonight. I'm so excited to go home, man.
Yeah, you mentioned it. You know, you want to see your little kid and your wife. But hopefully before you go, we can just get your thoughts. You know, we got a lot of fans on our channel who are from Myanmar, and they love Aung. You spoiled the party for them, but you know, it's a huge night for you, man. What's it like? Just that moment you held the belt in your hands.
Man, it was it was amazing. It was everything I thought it would be. But now it kind of died down, and we're back to normal. I just trained a little bit, moved a little bit, and we can now finally be in each other's room. So we've been playing some PlayStation the last couple of hours, and then head back home.
What you playing?
FIFA.
Oh yeah, who's your team?
Yeah.
Are you Ajax or what?
No, I don't know anything about football, but I like the game. I don't watch it, nothing, but just the game is fun.
Yeah. All right. Well, we're gonna hopefully bring up the video of the fight. You called your shot, didn't you? You said I'm gonna take you down. I'm gonna choke you out. You did say 10 seconds. Man. It was a little bit longer. It was like 4 minutes.
Yeah. And I said second round, so I was a little shy, but
yeah, man. He caught you with that one shot. What did you think when he hit you here? Because he pointed his finger. He said one shot there.
Nah, he didn't. He didn't really hit me. I was moving out when the shot grazed me. Yeah, I didn't. I was like, man, I didn't think he was that cocky to put his finger up like that, but that was all right.
He,
Then
he
I
kind of
switched
stuffed the
stances.
takedown. Yeah.
I switched stances, and I think that surprised him a bit. And then from the switch, I shot in. I got the body lock, and then once I got the body lock, I felt like this guy is going back home with me. I had so much control over his body, and then took him down. That was that.
Yeah.
What was the biggest mistake do you think he made on the ground though? You know,
None. He didn't make any mistakes. He did very well. He defended very well. He did everything right. That's my wheelhouse. That's my safe zone. That's my happy place, man. And there's
how
'Cause he
tight
stood
was
up
that
there.
neck crank? That neck crank was tight.
yeah, it
first
was
one.
tight, and it's funny because in a fight you don't experience it the same way you experience it during training. But I had it, and I was like, is this tight enough, or is this? I wasn't really sure. But then I felt it was pretty tight, and it sunk in slowly, slowly. I thought, no, let's see what happens. So I kept squeezing, and then it popped under his neck, and I got it.
I thought you were gonna break his jaw. To be honest with you, I was like, man, that just doesn't look comfortable
Yeah,
at all.
I think that's why eventually he lifted his chin up to alleviate the pressure a little bit. Yeah.
And that was a beautiful submission, man. I gotta tell you that.
Yeah. Thanks. Thanks. I've been doing this stuff my whole life, man. So now finally here.
Your teammate, he wins the Bellator belt the night
Yeah.
before or a couple days
Cool, right?
before.
Very cool, right?
Man,
Yeah.
middleweight Bellator title, Musasi wins that, and then
Yeah.
you come in and win your middleweight title. When you guys meet up in the gym and walk in with the gold on your shoulder, man, that's
Yeah.
a hell of an experience.
That's cool, right? That's very cool. I'm very happy for him as well. He did amazing again. Um, there's no striker like Gegard Mousasi, and it gave me a lot of confidence going into this fight as well. I know I've been training with this guy for almost 3 years now. Um, I know there's no one like him on the feet. He's so quick. He's so sharp. And I can hang with him. I can hang with anybody.
Definitely.
You said Ongla needs to work on his jiu-jitsu if he comes back. We have a question from one of our users asking, who's your jiu-jitsu hero?
I don't really have one. I like Damian Maya style. I like the way he shoots in, and then if he doesn't get the takedown, he pulls guard and works from half guard. That's amazing. I like Gordon Ryan's technique. I don't really like his antics, but his technique is crisp as hell. I've been there. I've been to New York. I've trained there at the dungeon at Henzo Gracie with the Den Air Death Squad. I like Dan Ayer's technique. I really love that school. Henzo himself, man. Henzo has been a great inspiration. Last time he fought at one was I was very amazed that at his age he still moved the way he does. I've been fortunate enough to meet him a couple of times, so I'd say Henzo is a big inspiration. Yeah.
Did you get to train a lot with Gary Tonin while you were out there?
Yeah, I did roll with Gary as well. Yeah.
What do you think about him? Do you think he's the next featherweight champion?
Yeah, it might be right. His striking is all right as well, man. He moves in and out pretty fluently. He doesn't. I think he doesn't have the power quite yet, but he's quick and he has the punches, he has the kick. So maybe, yeah.
We got another question from one of the fans asking, I think, a question a lot of us want to know the answer to. Reinier, were you going to go up to light heavyweight and go for champ status?
Yeah, why not, man? I walk around at like 98 kilos normally, so I could, yeah. Let me get a few weeks to let it all sink in because it's been a pretty long journey. I'm 30 years old now, 25 years in, finally at the top. So I need a few weeks to contemplate it all and let it all sink in, and then see what's next.
Yeah, and I guess Ongla said he wants to fight again, but he wants to stay in middleweight. He wants to stay active. So do you see him maybe going and doing that trilogy with Vitaly Bigdash now? Yeah,
I guess so. Maybe, yeah. Or a good matchup for him, a good fight for him would be Ataides. Leandro is that would be a banger of a fight as well. Big Dash hasn't been that active, and behind the scenes, he's been avoiding some fights. I was scheduled to fight him and pulled out. He was scheduled to fight a Titus and he pulled out. So I would say maybe a Titus deserves it more than Big Dash does.
What I know the first time I interviewed you, you told me you'll never ever fight the Tidies again, and but considering he went 3 rounds with you, decision, and it was far more competitive than Ongla was against you.
That's
Is
true.
this fight maybe going to happen? Do you have to give him a shot if he goes and beats?
I don't hope so. I don't hope so. If there's no other way, all right. But if I can avoid that, please.
maybe you might have to go to light heavyweight, right?
Yeah, we'll see. We'll see. Nah, man, he's a great fighter, and it would be an honor to fight him again. But I would really enjoy to see him fight Aung again as well. So we'll see what the timelines do. Because to be honest, I'm not really looking forward to be in quarantine for another week. So I hope this pandemic we're in would die down the next few months, maybe next half year, and then I'll be back. And maybe if they want to fight soon in a few months, then why not Aung Titus? It would be amazing for me.
What is the quarantine like for you when you go back to your country?
No, we're worse than here, so they're happy to have me now back home.
Are they going to build that statue? Then you said they
nope,
probably won't.
nope. No, we're not like that.
Have you had some reception from people back home? Have you been getting interviews?
Yeah, a lot of the Dutch guys are reaching out to do interviews and stuff, which is cool. It's cool, but like guys like Ramon Dekkers and Peter Aerts and all those guys, semi-skilled, name them. Nobody cares in Holland, man.
But there is quite a tradition over there. A lot of love for the
absolutely.
But would you love to bring one to Europe, to the Netherlands one day?
Yeah, be amazing. I've talked to them and they've expressed interest late last year. Remember? So I hope it's happening. We got Region van Eersel, Elias Inahachi. So we got 3 champs now back home. So it would be cool to headline a card there.
Niki Holtzken's kicking around still. You've got Peter Baus. So you could definitely get a little roster going. Where would you do it? Which arena would you pick?
It's got to be Amsterdam, right? One of the big ones. Ziggo Dome.
You want a headline, of course.
Yeah, why not, right?
Got another user question. I think what they're asking is, in a hypothetical matchup with you and Gegard, how would you see that going?
You can see it every Saturday. So if you you want to come watch, you're welcome to come and watch every Saturday. Man, he has the experience on me. He has the striking on me. He has great wrestling. If you start from the ground, then I might have a shot. But
what about another question here asking for your dream fight? What would that be?
My dream fight, to go home, have some food, have some drinks. That's my next fight. I don't know right now. Nah. I would never. By the way, I would never fight Gegard, man. The guy is it's helped me a lot. I would never step there.
Sure. When do you head back though? Sorry.
Tonight.
Okay,
so we'll leave here at 11 in the hotel, and then we get on a plane which has 20 people on it, maybe 30, which is amazing. Lay down, stretch out, and sleep for 9 hours. Leg room, and then I'll be home Tuesday morning. I have all day home. I'm free, so I'm taking a few days off to be with the fam.
Sorry, John, I interrupted you.
Oh yeah. Physically, how are you feeling? No injuries?
Good. No injuries. A little sore. I don't know how in 4 minutes, but it was a little. I think I squeezed harder than I remembered. But I feel great. I had a little bit of a blue spot on my lip from the scratch, But that's that. Yeah.
There was a lot of fans that came out in support of you, from your country, and it was incredible to watch the chat because it was like
Yeah.
Aung Lao's fans and your fans like battling back and forth. And then when you finally won, when you got the choke and
Yeah.
got the submission, it was just incredible to see even like Aung's fans kind of showing your respect to you. You know what I mean?
Yeah, there's a lot of positive reactions, which I like.
Yeah.
It's cool. At the end of the day, we're here to entertain and to for the people to have something to watch, right? So I hope everybody enjoyed it. I don't hate the guy; he doesn't hate me. I admire him to some extent, and he'll be back. He's a great fighter, and we'll see him again.
What is your plan though when you go back? You enjoy the time with your family. What do you focus on when you get back into training?
It's a weird situation right now because this has been the goal for so long, and now I have it here. I have it in my hand. So I think I need some time to recalibrate, set some new goals, and think of what's next because it feels this is something that happens to people, right? You have this goal, you've been working towards it, you get it. The euphoria is high, and you're happy, and you're all over the place for a day or two, and then it all sinks in, and then what's next? I'm not sure.
Well, Chris,
You guys
Chris,
want to see the belt?
Yeah, sure.
Yeah.
Go on.
Let me check.
Was it sufficiently
see the
shiny
coach?
for you?
Sup. Look, I've hidden it away here.
Oh yeah, there it is. Is
I
that gonna
dropped
have
it in
its
the
own
cage.
seat? Really?
Yeah,
Were you gonna give it its own seat on the plane? Yeah.
I guess so. I'm not sure how to take this home right now.
Yeah, you gotta get that through customs.
Yeah, and I'll put it up in the gym. It's for everyone to see.
It's gonna look good. We
Yeah.
got a quick question from Chris. He's asking you a rough time frame for when you want to fight.
Yeah.
Do you know?
Yeah, like half a year or something like that. 6 months, that'd be good for me.
Okay.
As I said, take some time off, take some time at home, recalibrate my mind, see so that makes a good time frame for some other guys to fight maybe. As I said, maybe Aung, Titus, that will be very exciting for me.
Another fan here asking Ong's is asking, what's the key to your victory? Hard work or pure talent or religious stuff? I don't know what that might be.
No, I'm not that religious, but it's a combination of all, I guess. As a kid, I wasn't really talented. I didn't do amazing in judo. Didn't really. No, I wasn't that good at all to start with. So I kept on going. That might be hard work. I have some talent in the jiu-jitsu department, but I think it's mostly here. It's all in the mind. This game is, and I think I have the strongest mind, the strongest will. I can be there and I can show up. Maybe I didn't really last time against the Titus, but normally I can make this work, and I can go in there and do my thing.
Why
You
was?
think-
Yeah.
Go
Sorry, John. Go ahead.
You think you performed your best in this last fight? Like this was that fight that
Yeah.
that was the
Yeah, I
pinnacle
was-
of your so far in your career, the pinnacle.
Yeah, absolutely. It felt like a special fight, and it is, of course. But the last few hours before the fight, I was so relaxed. I was so focused. I was completely in the zone. I had supreme confidence. As I was telling you guys all week, nobody's going to stop me now, and nobody did, right?
Yeah.
We got another question. I think they've been asking this to every guest we've had on today. So it's just, what's your favorite meal? I don't know. Did you have something after you won? Did you celebrate with anything particular?
We got some ice cream. We got some coconut ice cream. It was good. After the fight, we still couldn't be in the same room because of quarantine. So we got back. Everybody was in my room, but then the people got mad and they pulled us out. But finally, we were allowed to go outside, and outside we had some burgers and some ice cream, which was cool. Had a few beers, and now back home we'll celebrate. I'll throw a little party to thank everybody around me, everybody in the team.
Man, that's gonna be a crazy party because you guys have 2 belts to celebrate.
Yeah, it's cool, right?
Yeah, it is. It is. It's like a city winning 2 different championships in 2 different sports at the same time. You know, you see that sometimes happening.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, so it'll be cool. I'm very excited to see Gegard again, and we called. He's happy that he won it again. Yeah.
I got another question here, and they're just asking how you would hypothetically match up against another middleweight champion, Israel Adesanya. How would you take that fight?
I think John Jones would be a very hard matchup for me, but Adesanya is. I think I could beat that guy. Yeah. Because if you see his fights with Whitaker, maybe if he fights me, I think he would come in with a different game plan. But the way he fights Whitaker steps in with 2 shots, and Adesanya leans back all the way like he's in the Matrix. If you lean back like that, I'll put you on your ass. So that will be something, but I don't see it happening anytime soon. But I think that would be a great matchup for me. And I have the Dutch Israel Adesanya, Peter Buist in my gym, so
Yeah.
I've been preparing for a while.
Did you do anything different leading up to this fight compared to every other fight camp?
Yeah, even more structure. So we put even more structure in place. I put all the other stuff I do on the back seat even more. I've worked a lot on my mental space because, as I said, the fight before I wasn't in the right spot mentally, and done a lot of meditating, a lot of breathing exercises to get my mind right to get this performance out. Yeah.
We got another question from Chris. He's asking, did you watch any other fights on the card? What was your favorite fight?
Yeah, Tan Lee versus Martin was a banger, man. Tan Lee's movement is on another level. It's very cool to see. And then he got almost clipped, and then Martin got clipped. It was a cool fight. And then Iuri versus Christian, I didn't expect it to go that way at all. So cool. Yeah, it was a lot of good fights.
And your favorite fighter in one is someone's also asking.
Peter Buist.
Not biased.
If you put.
Well, yeah, he's got a fight coming up, or it's going to be shown on Friday. Good luck to Peter for that.
Yes.
Another fan asking, what was your toughest professional fight ever?
Was a Titus. The guy is so hard to take down, man. He has a great base, a great movement. Very tough, very unorthodox striking. Strikes come from I don't know where. That was a very tough fight for me. So back home in the first few fights, I had another guy similar to him, had all right grappling skills as well, and that's the only guy who's ever the second guy who went to the third round with me. So I've had some tough fights. It's not always that easy.
Yeah, were you surprised how easy you made it look?
Yeah, a little bit. Afterwards, it was a little surreal. That's why I didn't celebrate right away. It was a little bit like, is it over already now?
What would have happened if he survived until the second round? Would you?
I'd take him down again. I'd take him down. Yeah, I'd take him down 5 times. Once I got that body lock, I felt like I can control this guy every time. So that's why I took my time. My coach, when I took him down, when I was on his back, my coach yelled out right away, 4 minutes left. And it was like, no rush. I'm going to take my time. And he defended well. The hand positioning was nice. He slipped his fingers in my glove, which is not nice. And then he was trying. Then he was trying to get us stood up by the ref, which wasn't nice as well. But eventually, I got him. I got him under the chin.
Is that the PlayStation or what?
Yeah, they're starting already. They're starting.
FIFA again.
I'll go in the other room. I'll go in the other room.
It's so good. We had another question here. What was your pre-fight ritual prior to winning the title? I know you said you just kind
Yeah.
of felt relaxed. Yeah.
Yeah, I always do the same stuff. So I do a lot of the Wim Hof method. Do you know Wim Hof?
Yeah.
It's breathing exercises and it's cold exposure and focus. And I always do the breathing exercises before I enter the cage. Of course, I warm up a little bit, but not too early, so I don't want to tire myself out too much. So usually I start when the fight before me starts, or a little earlier, and then we walk out. Have my coach scream in my ear for 5 to 10 minutes, and then I'm ready to go.
How long can you hold your breath for?
If I like 4th, 5th, or 5th or 6th round, I can go like 4 or 5 minutes. Crazy, and that's
Wow.
without air in your lungs.
Yeah.
That's when you
That's the Wim Hof.
breathe
Wim
out.
Hof.
That's Wim Hof. Yeah,
Yeah.
it's very cool.
And do you jump in the river during the winter also?
Yeah, do the cold exposure as well. Yeah.
Wow. That's yeah. I'm fascinated by Wim Hof. He's incredible.
You should try it. You should try it. The breathing exercises are very easy to do, and they give me a lot of benefit. And there's like some funny tricks that show you that it can give you a performance boost as well. So if you go if you try your max push-ups, then you do 1 round of the breathing exercises, and you try again. You can usually do like more. You do like 5 or 10 more. So it's like instant performance benefits, which I think is very cool. And he has a lot of science behind it. So I really enjoy that. I've been doing it for years, and it's been a tremendous help for me.
A couple more fan questions quickly, if you're happy to answer them. Aung, Aung is asking who's your GOAT of MMA?
For one, it must be Aung, right? For one championship, it's Aung, absolutely. For UFC, I'd say John Jones. Apart from the steroid stuff and PEDs, I don't really. I think in the GOAT conversation, you shouldn't put his antics outside of the cage. But the PED use puts a bit of a downer on it. And what Khabib did last time was amazing as well.
Yeah, and Seppi a lot is asking, have you always been this supremely confident?
Nah, it's been. It came with building my game. It came with all the pieces of the puzzle falling together with building everything. And I think the confidence comes from the mind as well a lot. So the meditating and the exercises I do gives me a lot of confidence as well.
All right, I'll throw it to John. John, if you have a final question for Reinier.
No, that's it, man. He's the champ,
He's
man. What can you do? The champ's got to relax, right?
Yeah, we got to play some FIFA now.
Yeah, definitely.
I'll leave you to it. Yeah, Reinier, thanks so much for joining us on the show. And yeah, huge congratulations. It was an incredible performance, and we can't wait to see you back.
Thank you.
Go get some R&R first, please. Yeah.
Yes, I will. Hey, thank you guys. Thank you for your time. Thank you for your support leading up to the fight as well. And we'll talk to each other later.
Awesome, man.
Take
See you
care.
later.
Thanks.
Cheers.
Ciao.
Bye.
All right. We're going to have Christian Lee coming up in a couple of minutes, if all goes well. Oh, that was fun, wasn't it, Reinier? He's great to chat to, I think. Very honest guy. Interesting
very
stuff.
Transparent.
I like what he said about Adesanya. That was confident, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Said he put him on his ass.
And it just shows you, like, you could be honest and be transparent and be, likable all at the same time. It doesn't have to just you don't have to put a filter, every time you say something, and just be yourself. And I think a lot of the fighters leading up to this event, they were themselves. They didn't have the filter. A lot of the interviews that we did, it seemed like a lot of the guys, they were expressing their true feelings leading up to the fight. You got different mindsets. You got Tan Lee's mindset, then you got De Ridder's mindset, and then you got Aung's mindset. You know, they're all different in their own special way, and it's good to kind of see all of that creep out a little bit during their pre-fight and even after the fight and when they've got the belt now. Because you know, De Ridder's attitude with the belt is a little bit different than Tan Lee's. Tan Lee's like, you know, I'm not worried about the belt. I have it, but I'm not worried about it. And De Ridder's like, I'm gonna chill out and let's see what happens. Tan Lee seems like he wants to you know, fight soon. You know, that's kind of the vibe I get. So we'll see what happens with him in one championship.
Yeah, tough position for Reinier to be in, I think, because he was almost like the villain in a way,
Yeah.
because everyone loves Aung La so much, and you know, I got huge respect for Aung La. He's such a great guy, but that performance was incredible. You got to give props to RDR, and I can't see how anyone's going to stop him anytime soon. Looks like we got Christian here. Want to get him in. One championship lightweight champion Christian Lee. How's everything going, man?
Hey, good. How are you guys?
Good. What's going on, champ?
Doing good. Just you know, relaxing after the fight.
Yeah, we just caught up with Reinier de Ridder. He's a new champion. You held on to your belt. A lot of people were doubting you. They always doubt you, don't they? What have you got to say to the haters?
Oh man, you know, I really to the haters. I just appreciate their support, whether it's good or bad. I'm just out here doing what I love to do, and I don't pay any attention to negativity.
You expecting to get him out of there so quick? I think a lot of people thought, you know, this was going to be a really tough matchup for you, but you made it look easy.
Yeah, actually, I was planning on getting him out of there quick, and you know, many people, they were kind of advising me. They were saying, you know, he's most dangerous in that first 90 seconds, 2 minutes. That's when he's going to be most dangerous. Drag him into deep waters. But you know, for me, the game plan that my dad and I created was to just go in there and to bring the fight to him. So that's exactly what we did. We went in there, we pushed the pace, and I was able to get to finish within I think 2 minutes and 20 seconds.
When you rushed in at the start, did you trip or did you get hit? Because it seemed like you stumbled at some moment.
So what happened is we both went to exchange punches. His landed, mine missed. And after that, I immediately went for the shot. So it was kind of on the level change. So he did land the strike, but it was as I was level changing. And that's why I was able to continue driving through and get the takedown. And then from there, once we landed on the takedown, I drove him down, but I landed like straight on my head. And then I feel like that's why it was able to give him the momentum to land that throw that he did.
He sort of went for a heel hook, was it, or a leg lock? Were you ever worried about that?
No, you know, I'm very confident in my jiu-jitsu, and you know, we trained. We spent a lot of time training on leg lock offense and defense. And so as soon as he went for the straight ankle lock, I believe, and I just stepped right over, turned out of it, and then started working my ground and pound.
That was the biggest mistake of the fight right there, right? That he went for that leg lock, and do you feel like that was the beginning of the end for him?
Absolutely, you know, but I do feel like it started one step earlier. The only reason he went for that leg lock, I feel, was because he was working on escaping from mount. So his transition, escaping from the mount, is what led him to the ankle lock. If he had stayed there in mount, I would have pounded him out anyways.
Yeah, little bit of some people asking, were those hits illegal to the back of the head? What do you say to that? Some people are questioning it. It's tough to always tell from here.
You know what? I was sent a clip of the finish, and I have it on my phone. I spent many hours going frame by frame, zooming in on all of the shots, and I wanted to see for myself as well. You know, the ref was standing right over us, and if you couldn't see it as illegal shots, you know, then I'm sure the fans watching from their TV screens or phones couldn't see it as well. So I zoomed in frame by frame, and each time I hit him in the head, you can see a little piece of his ear just rattling. And what that means is that my hand and my glove was making contact with his ear. And then what part of the one championship rule set, and really the global MMA rule set, is that as long as the fist is touching a part of the ear, it's still considered a legal blow. So, you know, that's all I have to say to that. I kept my shots clean.
Do you think that's just something that, because people were saying, oh, Angela used an illegal suplex to finish Zhong Jingnan in Tokyo. Is that just think people like to, to hate on you guys, or is it just, that comes with being Team Lee? You guys are some of the most famous faces in one championship.
Absolutely, it's just part of my sister and I's success. Wherever there's success, there's going to be people looking to bring you down. And whenever I hear that, whenever he hears people, saying that Angela's suplex was illegal or my strikes were illegal, I just laugh because, there are trained professionals there in the ring. There's a referee in there. There's referees cage side. There's judges cage side. And everybody there is trained to look for those illegal shots or those illegal movements. And if they are watching it live and they see nothing wrong with it, then I don't see how anyone else has a right to make their judgment on that.
Did you feel his body go limp? It seemed like like you had knocked him out, like maybe 2 or 3 shots. It seemed like the ref was late. To be honest with you, it seemed like he wasn't moving. Did you feel his body go limp?
I did feel his body go limp. Yeah. So once I had him in that 3/4 turtle position, I started landing some heavy blows, and then from there he had one last attempt, which was to roll out of there. I was able to secure my position and follow up with a few more clean shots. And then from there, I believe it was like the first or second where he won out, but my job is not to decide when the fight is over. So I just waited until the ref stepped in. And then at that moment, that's when the fight was over.
Man, technically, this fight, man, you showed some new layers, man. I thought that especially on the ground, it was phenomenal to watch, man. And you're still so young. It's like, when are you gonna peak? You know what I mean? Like that's the question, right? It's like, how good can you be?
Well, the great thing for me and the scary thing for everyone else in the division is that I'm really not even close to reaching my full potential yet. I can feel it every single day when I get in the gym. I'm still getting better. I'm still improving my game in every area. And so, although I'm the champ currently, I still feel like I have so far to go in how far my MMA potential can really grow to.
Got some fan questions here, Christian, from some of the people watching. Did you have any dad motivation knowing that you're going to be a new dad? Congratulations, by the way.
Thank you very much. Absolutely. I found out a few weeks prior to my fight, but I kind of wanted to keep it quiet. I didn't want to make the announcement because I was just fully focused on my match ahead. But that was just, everything. That was definitely my driving force for this match. Finding out the news that I'm going to be a dad, that I'm going to be having a baby in the new year, just put so much added motivation. And when I was training, all I could think about was that I'm training not just for myself anymore, but training to provide for my wife and my family.
Do you want to take some time off and let the division kind of figure out itself out and kind of spend some time with your wife and help her out? Do you want to do that?
Absolutely. I plan on being there every step of the way through my wife's pregnancy, and definitely being there throughout like my baby's newborn life as well. So I do feel like the lightweight division has a bit of work to do, figuring itself out. I know the number 3 and 4 contenders are going to be fighting very soon. They're playing that fight next weekend. And so we'll see how that match goes with Timofey and Peter Buist. And then from there, I know there's Daggy and Eddie Alvarez working itself out as well. So definitely, I think it's going to take some time before the next clear contender works itself up to the top. And in the meantime, I'll still be training, but also spending time with my family.
We got another question from Tet asking, Christian, would you ever go up to welterweight and go for champ status, or would you like to go back down again to your previous home, featherweight?
Yeah, featherweight is the division I started, but right now, I've got a tough division in the lightweight division, so I'm just fully focused on being the champ and defending my belt, making my mark here. But absolutely, I do plan on moving up to welterweight in the future as well. I'm still growing, and I never put a limit on where my my career can go to. You know, I started off in the featherweight. I never would have imagined I would get a lightweight title shot the way I did. You know, but that's just the way life works itself out. So I'm always going to keep my options open and keep myself ready for whatever presents itself.
Yeah, I noticed you were 2 kilograms lighter than Iuri Lapicus at the final weigh-ins going into the fight. Is it still something you're growing into this division? You're putting on that muscle. It's still an ongoing process.
Actually, it took up quite a bit of work to get back down to this weight, to get to 77 kgs. Off season, I get a bit heavy. So, you know, I put in extra work on my diet to make sure that I was well below the limit, because I didn't know what to expect coming here in Singapore. You know, we were quarantined into our rooms. we didn't have access to the gyms, to treadmills, to saunas. And so I did extra work ahead of time in Hawaii, bringing my weight down. So I weighed in 2 kilograms under because I was eating every single day. You know, I just put in the extra work in the cardio and my diet. And that's why I was able to be light and just keep myself strong at that weight.
All right, we got more questions. We had someone just ask Reinier if he thinks he can beat John Jones. So, and Israel Adesanya. So I guess they're asking you if you think you can beat Conor or Khabib. Yeah, you've spoken a bit about Khabib before, but I don't think I've ever heard your thoughts on a Conor matchup.
You know, they are in a different organization halfway across the world. You know, as for Conor McGregor, absolutely believe that I could beat him 100%. You know, I don't know whether he's still fighting. I think he has a match coming up with Dustin Poirier. But, you know, I believe in my skills, and I know that I could absolutely take him out, and without a doubt. And as for Khabib, you know, I've got so much respect for the guy. You know, he just retired, and so it's not like I'm going to be calling him out. He retired for a great reason, and he's got a great legacy. But if we ever did fight, I 100% believe in my abilities, and I know that I would win as well.
I wanted to ask you before the fight, actually. I didn't get time in the virtual media day. What's it like as someone whose father is their coach? You know, that bond, how important is that? And how heartbreaking is it to see Khabib lose his father and his coach? I'm sure you know how strong that bond is. Just could you talk a little bit about what he must be going through?
Man, you know, my heart really goes out to Khabib and everything that he's gone through. You know, the whole world really could see how close him and his dad were, and how he brought him up ever since a young kid. And I can relate to that so much because, you know, my dad's trained me ever since I was a child as well. And so I can't even imagine. I know how close they must be. And I can't even imagine what it was like for Khabib losing his father during this time, and then, you know, coming back and doing a full camp without him, and then defending his world title. So yeah, I've got tremendous respect for him, and really just my heart goes out to him and his family, and I've got so much respect for what he does and what he stands for.
We have one more fan question quickly, and then I'll get John back on. Sorry, this guy's asking all the fighters we've had today about what your favorite meal is. I don't know if you celebrated with anything after you won. What would you normally get?
Well, the meal that my team and I celebrated with, we were finally able to celebrate with each other after our quarantine was over, after the fight, and we ordered like 10 burgers from Shake Shack. We sat down, we ate it together. If you guys haven't tried it, Shake Shack is amazing. You guys got to try that burger joint.
Oh, I got it here in Hong Kong. Yeah, it's pretty good.
Nice.
Sorry, there are a couple more questions that popped up. John, unless you want to jump in.
No, go with the questions. I'll do it after that.
All right. Yeah, well, obviously you train in Hawaii, Christian. You've got Singaporean roots as well, and Canadian roots. One of our users is from Canada, is asking, how much of a bond do you feel to Canada, if anything, at the still?
Canada is the place that I was born, and you know, I love the country of Canada. You know, my wife and we went there for our honeymoon. I still have family there as well, and so nothing but good memories going back to Canada. And you know, definitely it does feel great every time I go back to visit. I have strong roots there. So right now I do call Hawaii my home. I'm representing Singapore, but Canada has always got a special place.
Yeah, I was going to ask. It's every time I'm writing articles about you and about Angela, and I'm trying to think. What country should I put down as they're representing? It's Singapore officially. You flying the flag for?
Yeah, I'm representing Singapore,
Okay.
but my home is in Hawaii.
It's Canadian, American. There's so many things going on, and another one I wanted to ask about was Victoria. Do you have any update for us on when your 16-year-old sister might be debuting in one? She signed that contract.
Yeah, Victoria, she's working extremely hard, and I'm so proud of her. She's really putting in the work, and she is 100% ready for a fight today. But as far as her debut comes, I think we're gonna see sometime in the new year, very soon. She's training hard, and as soon as one championship gets to the call, she'll be ready.
Let's go ahead, John. Sorry.
With the division, you got Eddie Alvarez, Doggy, and Peter Boyce and Nasty Yukin. If you could rank those guys, how would you rank them in the division?
And I respect one championship ranking, and that's what I'm gonna go off of. But I do feel that Shinya would be the real number one contender, as he was such a dominant champ. He just lost his belt to me. That was really his only loss since being the champ. And then next, I would say as Daggy, because he took out really all the top contenders in the lightweight division. So those two guys, although I just fought them, they would probably be the number one and number two. They wouldn't be the next in line for the shot, of course, because we just fought. But in terms of the rankings, I do believe they're the top two. And then from there, 3, 4, 5, going down the list, it would really just be based on their last fights. I know Peter Boyce and Timofey have an upcoming match, so they, in my opinion, are number 3 and number 4. Number 5 would probably be Iuri, although I just took him out, as he's an undefeated contender before he fought me. And then Eddie Alvarez, man, if there was room for him, he'd be up there too, because just because of everything he's done. He's just coming off of a win over Eduard Folayang, but he does need a few more wins before he gets that title shot. So I would say those are the top 6 guys right now. But the whole lightweight division is just stacked. I mean, you could really make a top 20 ranking system for the lightweight division. That's how stacked it is. So I'm excited. It just means that there's more names for me to take out, and it allows me to just stay busy.
How many title defenses would you like to have before you are satisfied with moving, to another division?
For me, I don't have a set number of title defenses I want before I move up, but I do plan on clearing out the division. So I'm on my way there. I'm on track. I've already taken out the top 3, and then there's another, I would say, 3 to 5 big names that I'm looking forward to taking out in the lightweight division as well. So until that happens, I'm not going anywhere. But definitely big things to come. And if any big opportunity presents itself, I'll be all for it.
Yeah, Eddie Alvarez, he's a big name and everybody knows who he is. He's fighting Doggy next. You've mentioned Doggy as number 2 in your ideal rankings. Do you feel like that would justify him to be next in line if he does take out Doggy in impressive fashion?
I do feel like if he can finish Daggy, if he can dominate him, then it would warrant him a title shot. Absolutely. But again, I'm not the guy who makes that call. I'm just the champ looking forward to fighting all the hungry contenders. And so absolutely, I want to make that fight happen. I want to fight all the guys in the division. So if he can take out Doggy, for sure.
You gotta beat the legends to become a legend, right?
Absolutely.
Definitely. I'm looking forward to all of those fights, man. I want to see all of them.
Did you keep an eye on Antonio Caruso? He beat Eduard Folayang. What did you see in his? Do you see anything in him? He's going to be top 5 soon, do you think?
I think he's working his way up there. I don't know too much about Anthony. I know he had a good decision win over Eduard Folayang. I wasn't able to watch that full fight yet. Gonna go back and do so though. I think he's got a good record and he's got a good skill set, so he'll probably be working his way up. But for now, I know he has a loss over Boyce. I think that puts him behind him. So he's definitely on track to making it into the top 5.
What do you think of Edward as well? You think maybe time for him to ride off into the sunset, or what?
You know, I don't have a place to tell Edward when his time's up. No one does, but I got nothing but respect for Edward. You know, he's definitely a legend in one championship. He'll be in the Hall of Fame for sure, and he's put on so many great shows, so many great fights that you can't take anything away from him. He is on a few fight skid, but who knows? You know, if he still has the fire for fighting, we could very well see him making a comeback.
Tan Lee told me he's interested. We had him earlier, so he told us that he's interested in fighting you, going up, paying you a visit when all the dust settles on maybe a rematch with Martin. Is that something you'd be interested in, or do you want to clean out your division first?
I plan on cleaning out my division. You know, if Tan wants to come up, he's going to have to do some work in the featherweight division before that's warranted. If he does really want to fight, you know, I'll go down. But as far as him getting a shot at my lightweight belt, he's going to have to do some work in the featherweight division first.
Were you shocked he beat Martin Nguyen? What did you make of that result?
You know, I wasn't really too surprised. I felt like they were pretty evenly matched, both explosive strikers, and I felt like one of them was going to go out. So, you know, it was either Martin going to knock him out that night or him knocking out Martin, and, you know, it just went to his favor that night.
We got another fan question just asking for your prediction on the main event coming up this Friday, Abasov or Nakashima.
That's a tough one. You know, Abasov, he's very well rounded, but Nakashima, he's on a good win streak. He's on a roll. So, you know, I think Nakashima might have a very good chance of claiming the belt. Not positive on this, but I think he's got a good shot.
John, who do you think's gonna win?
I gotta go with the new blood, Nakashima, man. He is on a roll, man. He looks unstoppable. So I think he has the skill set to upset the champ.
For what it's worth, I'm gonna go for Abasov. I think he looked incredible when he won the title from Kazakhstan. We have another question. Christian, how hard have you ever gone sparring with Angela? What's it like when you two throw down in the gym?
You know, well, for those of you who may not know, I'm the lightweight champ and she's the atomweight champ. So there's but 2 pounds between us. And she's also my sister, you know, my big sister, but also my little sister in many ways. We don't try to take each other's heads off. We have real hard technical sparring. We help each other grow, and you know, we can put a great flow roll on. So we're always helping each other, trying to help each other in any way possible. But the days of hard sparring between us are long gone.
I just got to ask as well. You know, I asked you briefly in the fight week, but what's your thoughts on this atomweight Grand Prix? Who do you think might emerge as the winner for Angela's next challenger?
You know, I think it's great they're doing atomweight Grand Prix. You know, there really was no clear contender in that division for the belt, and so this Grand Prix will make a clear contender, and it's really a toss-up. You know, there's going to be a lot of talented atomweights in that tournament, and you know, I think, you know, Denise will have a good shot at winning that, and we'll see. If she does, then definitely she'll deserve a shot, but until then, really, it's a toss-up.
Yeah, were you surprised when she asked for them to take the belt off your sister Angela when Denise said maybe she should vacate?
Yeah, you know, it's funny, but I'm not surprised that that's what Denise is calling for, you know, because she's a hungry contender. Of course, that's what she wants. Of course, she wants to get the belt. Of course, she wants it to be vacated. But you know, if you look at the raw facts, you know, Angela, she was the first and only atomweight women's champion. You know, she's defended her belt multiple times. She's really cleared out her division, and so, you know, there's nothing that warrants her having to give up her belt. And you know, I'm glad that the world sees that and agrees with it. And I'm also glad that they're doing the Grand Prix.
Yeah, and do you think definitely Angela can be back by the end of 2021 to face the winner, or will it maybe go on into 2022? I know she said I'm definitely coming back.
You know, Angela, she's extremely strong-willed, and whatever she decides to make her mind up to, she will do. And so, you know, if she wants to be back by the end of 2021, I absolutely believe she will be. But you know, during these times, we don't know what the schedule of events looks like. Whether it's end of 2021, early 2022, we'll see. But she'll definitely be ready.
All right, there's another fun question quickly. What did you make of the main event, Aung and Reinier? Were you surprised how easy Reinier made it look? You know, Aung is a real legend of one, but first round submission, it was a great win for Reinier, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was a great win for him. But you know, I really feel like that match could have gone either way. You know, that was really a toss up. It would have either been Aung knocking him out or Reinier submitting him. And you know, that night Reinier had his night. So props to him.
All right. That wraps it up for the fan questions. John, anything else you want to ask the champ while we got him here?
Nothing to ask, man. Just congratulations, man, on another beautiful performance, and I'm looking forward to seeing some more title defenses in the future, man. And congratulations on the newborn.
Thank you, man. I appreciate it.
Yes, thanks, Christian. Really, I echo John's sentiments there. It was a great win. Can't wait to see you back. You are really one to watch. You know, one of the biggest talents, I think, at your weight in MMA, and that's just one of the biggest talents in all of the sport. And I can't wait to see how your career unfolds. Still so young, as we were saying earlier. It's a real pleasure to get to see you do your thing in the cage.
Thank you. I really appreciate it, guys. Good talking with you.
Yeah, catch up soon, mate. Cheers. All the best.
All right. Take care, guys.
Oh, I cut him out. Sorry, Christian. Yeah, that's it, everyone. I guess. Hope you enjoyed the show today. We had 4 of the 6 winners from Inside the Matrix on the show today. Antonio Caruso, Tan Lee, whose Wi-Fi was pretty terrible. Hopefully, we catch up with him again. We had Reinier de Ridder, the new middleweight champ, and we just had Christian Lee, obviously the lightweight champ. John, closing thoughts from you? It's just been the world of one has kind of been turned on its head, hasn't it, a little bit?
It has, and it just makes it more interesting to see how Aung comes back, how Martin comes back. You know, what can Christian do? Well, how you know, are people going to still doubt him when he goes into the next fight against, you know, the next title challenger? You know, what's going to happen with the Ridder? He says he's going to take 6 months off. Are they going to make Aung fight somebody else? Or are they just going to wait and just wait the 6 months? Or are they going to push the Ridder to fight Aung again immediately? There's a lot of moving pieces, you know, and it's good to get the thoughts of the winners. Hopefully we could get the other fighters on in the next live show that we have. But other than that, man, I think we should wrap it up. We've gone 2.5 hours, and you know, let's
appreciate it.
Let's shut it down, man.
Everyone watching, thank you so much. We'll be back soon, I hope, for the next edition, episode 3. It's still a bit of a work in progress, but thank you again, John. I really appreciate you jumping on with me, helping out, and I appreciate all of the fans for all your comments. It's great. Hopefully you enjoy this element of interaction. It's cool. You know, I love to ask fighters questions as my job, but I hope you guys enjoy getting to do it as well. And please keep the comments coming next time. Please remember to like and subscribe if you haven't already. Feel like we need Chris here. He's the ultimate hype man for subscribing. We just get 10,000 subs, didn't we, John? Broke through that barrier on Saturday, I think.
Definitely, man. I appreciate everybody that hit that subscribe button, and make sure to hit the alarm too. So whenever we have live shows or any new content, you know, you get that little ding, that little alert, and you could check it out. But yeah, you guys, I love everybody, man, and this is something that we're gonna continue doing, and you guys just keep going along with the ride. That's it, man. And we want to get you guys involved as much as possible. That's why we have the chats open so you could ask questions. And I don't think any show is doing that right now. And this is something that we're going to continue doing for you guys.
Yes, peace and love to all of you. Thank you so much, and we'll see you again next time.